Anyone who had seen this seed had to die, but I swallowed it directly into my stomach. Nurturing it for 18 years, continuing from the previous episode. New friends are advised to start from the first episode. The story begins, having 510 silver taels on him, and being willing to offer it as a betrothal gift are two different things. Willing to give up his entire fortune for Liu Ruxu. It showed just how important Liu Ruxu was in Fang Chen's heart. Liu Zhengyuan, however, showed delight on his face, although he didn't know where Fang Chen got the money. He could now rightfully marry his daughter to him. Wang Yingfeng checked them one by one. Confirming they weren't fake silver notes, her expression visibly soured. Finally, furious, she scattered all the silver notes with a shout. Glaring at Fang Chen, 510.00 silver taels isn't enough. I said it must be a betrothal gift that satisfies me. Now, I am not satisfied. Understand? The Liu family members understood perfectly. It wasn't the betrothal gift she was dissatisfied with. It was Fang Chen himself, for the same 500 tael betrothal gift. She couldn't be more satisfied with Zhu Jianshen. Towards Fang Chen, however, her attitude was completely different. Fang Chen wasn't annoyed. Instead, he wrote out a note. That's right, I'm not satisfied either. Bringing out these 500 silver taels was just to tell you that this stuff isn't worthy of marrying the best woman in the world. I hope the head madam can broaden her horizons a bit. Don't act like you've never seen money before. Getting lost over a mere few 100,000 silver taels. He actually mocked Wang Yingfeng so directly to her face. This was harsher than a physical slap. Fang Chen, Wang Yingfeng's eyes widened. She shrieked furiously. Who are you saying hasn't seen money? Fang Chen wrote with a faint smile. Naturally, it's you, who lacks money. Could it possibly be me? Who has 510 silver taels? Wang Yingfeng flew into a rage. She raised her hand, wanting to slap Fang Chen across the face, but was stopped by Liu Zhengyuan. He shouted in a deep voice, "Have you no shame?" The dignified matriarch of the family acting like a shrew. Hitting someone in public, Wang Yingfeng refused to back down, angrily berating Fang Chen to more days. If you can't produce a betrothal gift that satisfies me, don't even think about marrying Liu Ruxu. Fang Chen wrote calmly, rest assured, if even my betrothal gift cannot satisfy you, then no one in Guizhou City can marry Ruxu. These words made Zhu Jianshen, standing nearby, unable to pretend he hadn't heard. Look how capable you think you are, Zhu Jianshen snorted coldly. I am the young master of Guizhou City's third largest family, a disciple of the Qingyun sect, yet I'm somehow inferior to a piece of trash like you. In 2 days, I will come again to propose marriage. Just watch as Liu Ruxu becomes my woman. The Zhu family servants awkwardly carried the chests of gold, silver, and jewels back at the Zhu residence. Shener, why did you bring the betrothal gifts back? His mother, Zhang Yuxiu, asked in surprise. Zhang Yuxiu immediately felt indignant for her son. How outrageous, a mere freeloader, living under someone else's roof, dares to compete with my outstanding son for a woman. Shener, don't worry, isn't it just about the betrothal gift? Mother will personally arrange it for you. With our Zhu family's financial power and connections, does an orphan like him think he can compete with me? She immediately ordered, Steward, prepare some gifts for me. Tomorrow, I need to visit the Chen family. Their high-grade chair refining liquid is incredibly hard to come by, but coincidentally, the Chen family's matriarch and I have been friends for many years. What difficulty could there be in buying a few bottles? Shener, you'll come with me to the Chen family tomorrow. Zhu Jianshen suddenly looked up, shocked. What? Our Guizhou City has high-grade chair refining liquid now, in the Qingyun sect, even there. Only disciples with outstanding performance are qualified to consume it. Zhang Yuxiu said, that's right, they started selling it the day before yesterday. However, sales are limited to only 50 bottles per day. Without strong connections, it's impossible to buy. If you use this as the betrothal gift, that brat surnamed Fang can only stare blankly. But Zhu Jianshen frowned deeply. But mother, high-grade chair refining liquid can only be refined by a 2-star soulmaster. Has our small Guizhou City produced a 2-star soulmaster? That joke isn't funny at all, in my opinion. You've all been deceived. What does a 2-star soulmaster even signify? It's an existence so transcendent that even the Qingyun sect master, upon learning of one, would travel thousands of miles just to pay a special visit. How could one possibly appear in tiny Guzhou city? Now that he mentioned it, Zhang Yuxiu also became unsure. Because the Qingyun sect did have a 2-star soulmaster, her son had more authority on this matter. Zhu Jianshen pursed his lips. Whether it's real or fake, I'll know as soon as I see it tomorrow, at the Liu residence. Liu Ruxu held her face in her hands, looking distressed. Chen, why is it so difficult for us? First, Lu Zhong tried to steal you away. Then, Fang Chen finally defeated Lu Zhong, only for an exorbitant betrothal gift to appear. Luckily, Chen Xiling was willing to help, but then Zhu Jianshen, with his extremely high status, popped up. There was no response from behind her for a while. She turned her head to look. Fang Chen was pouring the spiritual liquid from a jade vial into a teacup. He handed it to her. Drink it, Ruxu. What is this? You'll know once you drink it. Fang Chen smiled, turned around, picked up a brush again, and started copying something. What is it? Liu Ruxu thought for a moment, then drank it down readily. Anyone in this world might harm her, but Fang Chen never would, unexpectedly. As soon as the spiritual liquid entered her stomach, her abdomen churned violently, and her meridians throbbed with pain. Chen. Just then, as Liu Ruxu was startled, Fang Chen handed her several pages of prepared text. Follow this cultivation manual. Cultivation manual. Liu Ruxu knew how precious cultivation manuals were. The Liu family, despite being a reputable family, only had its members practice an unranked cultivation manual. Not even considered low grade. Feeling the intense pain in her abdomen, she had no time to delay. She quickly sat cross-legged and began cultivating according to this manual. About half a day later, suddenly, around Liu Ruxu, a significant surge of spiritual energy emanated. Refining level 3. Liu Ruxu couldn't believe it. She asked, Chen, what did you give me to cultivate? What else could it be? Of course, it's that imperial-grade high-level cultivation manual, the Heart Seal True Scripture. The what truly allowed her to break through so quickly was the supreme-grade refining liquid, all left to me by my father. Fang Chen handed over another cup of the mysterious liquid. Liu Ruxu suddenly understood. No wonder Fang Chen had changed so much recently. His cultivation advancing by leaps and bounds, suddenly having so much money, and possessing a seemingly powerful cultivation manual. She took the teacup again, and drank down the supreme-grade refining liquid. She continued to cultivate cross-legged. Fang Chen also consumed a bottle, and sat side by side with her, cultivating. The next day dawned. Looking at Liu Ruxu, still deep in meditation, Fang Chen quietly took the batch of refining liquid he had newly refined, tacked it up, and brought it to the Chen family. Senior, you've arrived so early. I'll take you to the living room to rest first, and then inform the young miss immediately. No need for such trouble, I'll just go find her directly. Thus, in front of the Chen family warehouse, Fang Chen saw the slender waist, bent over, barely a handspan wide, belonging to Chen Xiling, who was intently inventorying various medicinal herbs on the ground. A pink top, a blue lawn skirt. A simple yet stylish combination, giving off a sweet feeling. Her full hips pressed against the lawn skirt, outlining a pair of peach petals. Young miss, the senior has arrived. The steward reminded her from a distance. Chen Xiling quickly stood up, turning her head. She saw the wide-robed Fang Chen. She almost blurted out Fang Chen's name. Fortunately, she caught herself, and quickly corrected herself. Senior, you've arrived. Fang Chen looked at the messy materials covering the ground. Chen Xiling had been active for a while. Her pretty face was flushed, making her skin look like peach blossoms. Reporting to Senior, these are mostly expired medicinal materials, or ones that simply wouldn't sell, so they can only be thrown away or sold cheaply. Fang Chen glanced over. These materials amounted to at least several hundred jin. All were heavenly materials and earthly treasures rich in spiritual energy. It would be a pity to throw them all away. Finally, Fang Chen's gaze was drawn to an old jade box. Inside lay a sprig, upon which grew several fiery red, soybean-sized fruits. Fang Chen grabbed the jade box, and examined it closely for a long moment. It's actually Wang Chuan beans. You were going to throw away such a treasure. In the Taiyi Soul Bamboo records, there's a third-grade spirit pill called the Rejuvenation Pill. It can restore black hair from white and rejuvenate the skin. It's a treasure women dream of. However, its main ingredient, Wang Chuan beans, is extremely difficult to find. They are nurtured from the tares shed by a type of demonic beast called Wang Chuan, when it reminisces about its past in old age. To think the Chen family actually had a plant, Senior, is truly knowledgeable. You even recognize Wang Chuan beans. Chen Xiling approached. Carrying a faint fragrance, she whispered. My grandfather obtained this from a cliff face when he was young. Only after consulting countless texts did we learn they were Wang Chuan beans, the main ingredient for the legendary Rejuvenation Pill. Unfortunately, it's a third-grade spirit pill, and no one can refine it. Even a 2-star soulmaster is an earth-shaking existence that can turn the world upside down with a stomp of their foot, let alone the legendary 3-star soulmaster. Where could the Chen family possibly find such a figure? We have the Wang Chuan beans, but lack the soulmaster. Thus, this pearl has gathered dust for decades, and we plan to sell it cheaply. Sell it cheaply? Fang Chen's mouth twitched fiercely. What a criminal waste of a heavenly treasure. Since you're planning to sell it, why not give it to me? I'll refine it into rejuvenation pills and give you one as payment later. How about that? Chen Xiling blinked her golden eyes, reminding him, Senior, the rejuvenation pill is a third-grade spirit pill. Only a 3-star soulmaster can refine it. Fang Chen retorted, Is there a problem? Chen Xiling's pupils shrank drastically. She covered her small, rosy mouth and gasped. You are a 3-star soulmaster, although there's only 1 grade difference between 2-star and 3-star. The gap is like that between heaven and earth. The Qingyun sect master treats the 2-star soulmaster hired by the sect at great expense with utmost respect, but if the other party were a 3-star soulmaster, it's no exaggeration to say that it wouldn't be excessive for the Qingyun sect master to perform a kowtow. Fang Chen was actually a 3-star soulmaster. She found it hard to believe. Fang Chen said, We'll know after I try refining it. Provide me with a secret room. Chen Xiling snapped back to reality and quickly led the way to the warehouse. Nearby was Fang Chen, who conveniently first handed over the 40 bottles of high-grade chair refining liquid refined yesterday to complete the transaction with her. Then stepped into the secret room. He wasn't certain either what level of soulmaster he actually was, but since he could refine supreme-grade chair refining liquid, far surpassing his 2-star soulmaster father, refining this pill shouldn't be a problem, right? Filled with curiosity, he began the refinement process. At the same time, Zhang Yuxiu and Zhu Jianshen, accompanied by the Chen family matriarch, Liu Qingmin, arrived at the warehouse. Xiling, come over and meet young Master Zhu. Chen Xiling, guarding the secret room, didn't move. She merely curtsied from afar, lowering her voice. Afraid of disturbing Fang Chen, Greetings, Madam Zhu. Young Master Zhu, it is inconvenient for me to come over. Please forgive me. Seeing this, Liu Qingmin frowned slightly. Zhu Jianshen was a Qingyun sect disciple. After all, his status was incredibly revered. How could he be treated so neglectfully when visiting personally? Xiling, cease this rudeness. What matter could be more important than greeting young Master Zhu? Zhu Jianshen was currently sizing up Chen Xiling. Her sweet and fresh aura and alluring, slender figure made his eyes light up. Although her beauty was slightly less than Liu Ruxue's, she was still a great beauty hard to resist. He quickly said politely, Miss Chen, what are you doing? He glanced at the secret room she was guarding, looking for a topic of conversation. With the Qingyun sect disciple present, Chen Xiling dared not delay. She could only state the truth. To be honest, young Master Zhu, a senior soul master, is currently refining pills inside. Please forgive this humble girl for not being able to chat with you, lest I disturb the senior, a senior soul master. A corner of Zhu Jianshen's mouth lifted. What a coincidence. Just watch how I expose his fake soul master identity, daring to play mysterious tricks in front of me. Zhu Jianshen, I'll make him reveal his true form. Zhu Jianshen, intending to show off in front of Chen Xiling. From his bosom, carefully took out a bottle of high-grade Che refining liquid. He boasted, not without pride, "This is authentic high-grade Che refining liquid, personally awarded to me by that 2-star soul master of the Qingyun sect. I've always been reluctant to drink it, but today, to prevent Miss Chen from being deceived, I am willing to take it out and use it." Deceived Chen Xiling showed a surprised expression. Her mother, Liu Qingmin, explained worriedly, Xiling, "Young Master Zhu just mentioned that the 2-star soul master our Chen family met might very well be an imposter. Mother has been thinking. It also seems strange that a 2-star soul master would condescend to stay in a small place like Guzhou City. Bring out a bottle of the high-grade Che refining liquid. Compare it with the authentic high-grade Che refining liquid, and we'll know if it's real or fake." Suspecting Fang Chen, Chen Xiling said, "Slightly angry young master's good intentions are appreciated, but I can tell whether the high-grade Che refining liquid is fake or not. Even if I am young and lack experience, surely the steward wouldn't misjudge. And those powerful experts who bought the high-grade Che refining liquid, they wouldn't misjudge either, right?" Zhu Jianshen said gravely. "Miss Chen, you may not know this, but recently, there has indeed been a batch of fake high-grade Che refining liquid circulating rampantly within the Qingyun sect's territory. According to reliable sources, it's highly likely the work of people from the Blood Fiend Palace. They are mass-producing counterfeit high-grade Che refining liquid to swindle cultivators out of their money. Not only is this medicine ineffective, it also contains some toxins. It has already caused quite a few deaths. If your Chen family has been deceived and sold counterfeit high-grade Che refining liquid to others, resulting in injuries or deaths, can you bear the consequences?" Hearing these words, Chen Xiling's heart skipped a beat, and she couldn't help but waver slightly. Zhu Jianshen continued, "Miss Chen, bring out 1 bottle of the high-grade Che refining liquid refined by this fake soul master. Compare it with my authentic version, and you'll know the truth." Chen Xiling bit her red lips slightly doing this. "Isn't it doubting Fang Chen?" Liu Qingmin heard this. Her expression changed drastically. Feeling the situation was very serious, she said, "Xiling, what are you still hesitating? For your father is gravely ill in bed. You absolutely cannot afford any mistakes." Thus, only then did Chen Xiling hesitate, for a moment, grit her teeth, and take out a bottle of the just-delivered high-grade Che refining liquid. She walked over and said, "How do we compare?" Smelling the intoxicating fragrance from Chen Xiling, Zhu Jianshen couldn't help but feel restless and lustful. If he exposed the fake soul master's identity, it would be equivalent to saving the entire Chen family. At that time, even if he demanded Chen Xiling give herself to him, the Chen family would have nothing to say, right? Suppressing the wicked fire stirring within his heart, Zhu Jianshen took out 2 grayish-brown seeds. These are seeds of the spirit-seeking flower. It is extremely sensitive to spiritual energy and is typically used to accurately distinguish the grade of Che refining liquid. Just water it with 1 bottle of Che refining liquid, and it will, based on the spiritual energy absorbed, sprout shoots of different heights, thereby determining the grade of the Che refining liquid. Pausing for a moment, Zhu Jianshen glanced at the Che refining liquid in Chen Xiling's palm and said, "Of course, if it's fake Che refining liquid, the sea will remain completely still. If Miss Chen has no other questions, then let's begin." Zhu Jianshen first opened his own bottle of high-grade Che refining liquid. Feeling a sharp pang of regret, he hadn't even been willing to drink it himself. But if he could save the Chen family and win over this great beauty Chen Xiling, this bottle would be worth it. Gritting his teeth, he poured the entire bottle of Che refining liquid onto 1 seed. 3 breaths later, a magical scene occurred. The seed swelled at a visible speed, cracked open, sprouted, and grew in just 10 breaths. It grew a lush green shoot 3 inches high, Zhu Jianshen said. Growing 1 inch means it's low-grade Che refining liquid, 2 inches. It's mid-grade Che refining liquid, 3 inches. It's authentic high-grade Che refining liquid. Miss Chen, it's your turn. Chen Xiling became a little nervous. What if it was fake? What should she do? Would she have to turn Fang Chen in and apprehend him? Liu Qingmin urged anxiously, "Xiling, what are you still hesitating for? helpless. Chen Xiling could only press her red lips together, hesitantly pouring the cheddar or refining liquid onto the seed. Then, her crystal-like eyes stare unblinkingly at the sea, silently praying in her heart it must be real. If it wasn't, the Chen family would be doomed beyond recovery. Not only would they fail to suppress the Qin family, they would also have to pay a heavy price for the fake high-grade cheddar or refining liquid sold previously. Zhu Jianshen, meanwhile, watched leisurely, a victorious smile on his lips. Anyone could figure out with their toes that this bottle must be fake. After all, within the entire Qingyun sect's territory, there was only one 2-star soulmaster. 3 breaths passed. As expected, the seed showed no movement at all. Chen Xiling's heart sank, aching faintly. On her beautiful, jade-like face, panic visibly surfaced. Her worst fears had come true. It was actually fake. Zhu Jianshen smiled faintly. Adopting the posture of a benefactor, he said, "Miss Chen, luckily I showed up in time. The Chen family hasn't been dragged down too deeply yet. There's still room to maneuver." Liu Qingmin's body swayed, nearly losing her balance, her face deathly pale. She hurriedly said to Zhu Jianshen, "Thanks to young Master Zhu, otherwise, my Chen family would have been doomed. You have shown heavenly grace to our Chen family. Please accept this old woman's bow." As she spoke, she was about to kneel. Zhu Jianshen politely helped her up, saying, "Auntie, you are too polite." Xiling and I hit it off right away. I couldn't bear to see her end up as the family's scapegoat, so I stepped in to help. They were all experienced people who couldn't understand his meaning. Liu Qingmin was also happy about this. Her own daughter had caught the eye of a Qingyun sect disciple. If it led to marriage, nothing could be better. She quickly said, "Xiling, hurry up and thank young Master Zhu." Chen Xiling still hadn't recovered from the immense shock, murmuring blankly, "Thank you, young Master Zhu." Liu Qingmin, intending to matchmake the two, scolded, "Is that any way to thank someone?" She took Chen Xiling's hand and pushed it towards Zhu Jianshen's palm, saying with a smile, "Take young Master Zhu for a nice stroll in our garden." Only at this moment did Chen Xiling abruptly come back to her senses. She hastily withdrew her hand, saying, "Mother, what are you doing?" Liu Qingmin decided to be blunt, saying, "Xiling, for your sake, young Master Zhu sacrificed a bottle of authentic high-grade cheddar refining liquid. Isn't his affection obvious?" She grabbed Chen Xiling's hand again, saying, "Besides, young Master Zhu saved our entire Chen family, saved dozens of lives. High and low, shouldn't you properly express your gratitude to him?" Chen Xiling was still struggling, but felt very powerless, because Zhu Jianshen had indeed shown them immense kindness. Just as she was about to be pushed into Zhu Jianshen's hands, suddenly, something caught her eye and her peripheral vision. She quickly shook off Liu Qingmin's hand, exclaiming, "It moved! This seed moved!" What Liu Qingmin and Zhang Yuxiu both looked over simultaneously. Both startled, it really moved. Zhu Jianshen also looked over in surprise. He saw the previously motionless seed begin to wobble as it swelled. This he was both shocked and secretly furious. The beauty was just within his grasp, yet this seed reacted. His mood right now was like being interrupted at the peak of passionate lovemaking, leaving him exceptionally displeased. He snorted. "Moving doesn't mean anything, it just indicates that the fake cheddar refining liquid contains a tiny bit of spiritual energy." However, as soon as his voice fell, the sea, swollen to its limit, cracked open and sprouting. An incredibly verdant shoot grew rapidly. 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Intense surprise suddenly burst forth on Chen Xiling's face. She exclaimed excitedly, "Ah, 3 inches, 3 inches. It's real high-grade cheddar refining liquid. He didn't lie to us." Zhu Jianshen was incredulous. How is this possible? How can there be a second 2-star soulmaster within the Qingyun sect's territory? Could it be that his high-grade cheddar refining liquid was obtained from the Qingyun sect through the black market? He pondered back and forth, finding only this explanation. But just then, Chen Xiling covered her mouth and gasped again. "Wait, it's still growing." Everyone focused their gaze. Indeed, the shoot was still slowly growing taller, until it reached a height of 3.5 inches, before slowly stopping. Chen Xiling clenched her fists excitedly, saying, 3.5 inches, doesn't this mean that the high-grade chair refining liquid refined by our family's senior is even better quality than the one refined by the Qingyun sect's soulmaster? As soon as these words were spoken, even Zhang Yuxiu was shocked. She said, Shenner, didn't you say the Chen family's soulmaster was fake? Why is the high-grade chair refining liquid he refined not only not fake, but even more potent than the Qingyun sect's? This question stumped Zhu Jianshen. He looked towards the secret room, towards that 2-star soulmaster he had never met. How could he dare show even the slightest disrespect now? There was only awe. However, his own confident accusations just now seemed like slapping his own face at this moment. Unreconciled, he muttered softly, even if he is a 2-star soulmaster, it doesn't necessarily mean he's stronger than ours from the Qingyun sect. Our Qingyun sect's senior soulmaster is a veteran with vast experience. This senior before us perhaps just happened to refine a batch of high-grade chair refining liquid that was slightly better quality. That's all. Regarding this, even Chen Xiling, whose heart was filled with reverence for Fang Chen, felt it was plausible. The Qingyun sect's senior soulmaster was a renowned senior known far and wide, having refined countless spirit pills in his lifetime. In contrast, Fang Chen was still young. Just one bottle of chair refining liquid was far from enough to prove that he had already surpassed the Qingyun sect's senior soulmaster. But right at this moment, a muffled sound suddenly came from the sealed secret room. Wisps of pale red smoke drifted out, spreading into the air. Instantly, the backyard filled with a refreshing medicinal fragrance. Just taking a single sniff, Zhang Yuxiu and Liu Qingmin, the two middle-aged women, revealed looks of intoxication on their faces. What is this thing? It looks somewhat like beauty-preserving pills, but the medicinal fragrance is far superior to theirs. As noble women of solitary boat city, they regularly used expensive beauty pills, so they immediately recognized the type of medicinal aroma. However, the high-grade beauty treasures they were accustomed to seemed utterly inferior before this fragrance. Zhu Jianshen, however, showed a puzzled expression. A soulmaster senior from the Qingyun sect once said, the higher the grade of a medicinal pill, the richer the fragrance upon its completion. Miss Chen, what medicine is this senior refining? Chen Xiling was also stunned, staring unblinkingly at the secret chamber, saying in a tone she herself could hardly believe. He said, he wants to refine the youth reversal pill. Zhu Jianshen hadn't heard of this till before, but Zhang Yuxiu gasped in shock. The legendary youth reversal pill that can turn white hair black and rejuvenate the skin. Liu Qingmin trembled with delighted surprise. Xiling, don't speak carelessly. That's a third-grade spirit pill. No one in the world can refine it. This kind of pill, existing only in legends, for women, especially older women, possessed a world-destroying lethality. Absolutely no one could resist it. Chen Xiling said senior took the forget river beans, saying he wanted to refine the youth reversal pill, and said he'd give me one as payment for the materials. I just don't know if this right now is the youth reversal pill. Hearing this, Liu Qingmin delightedly gripped Chen Xiling's shoulders. He really said he'd give you one. Good, 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 my dear daughter. You've given mother such a huge surprise. Entrusting the family business to you was simply the best decision of my life. Chen Xiling's eye twitched slightly when her father was critically ill, and the clansman recommended Chen Xiling take over the family business. Her mother was the first to object. She felt Chen Xiling was too young, that the family business should be managed by her, the main wife. She normally had no contact with the family business, so the clansman worried she couldn't handle it, insisting that Chen Xiling take charge. This had also created friction between mother and daughter. Now, for the sake of a youth reversal pill, she instantly did a complete 180-degree turn. Zhang Yuxiu, however, grew anxious. This divine object, the youth reversal pill, if others had it and she didn't, it would be more unbearable than death. Xiling, good girl, help auntie, ask for one too. I'm willing to pay any price. Chen Xiling immediately shook her head. A soul master senior of this caliber, how could I just ask for one whenever I want? I can only ask the soul master senior on your behalf, whether he is willing to sell one to you. Hearing this, Zhang Yuxiu was overjoyed. hastily removing the valuable jade bracelet from her wrist and stuffing it into Chen Xiling's hand. "Good girl, Auntie is counting on you, as long as you're willing to plead, regardless of the outcome. This jade bracelet is yours." Chen Xiling was startled. This bracelet had to be worth 100,000 silver taels. She quickly waved her hands. No, I can't accept this. It's too valuable." But just then, the secret chamber's stone door opened, and amidst the faint red mist, Fang Chen looked at the 3 pills in his palm. Youth reversal pills as red as roses. The best one among them was a top-grade youth reversal pill. The other 2 were low-grade youth reversal pills. He planned to use the top-grade youth reversal pill as one of the betrothal gifts. As for the remaining 2, one was promised to Chen Xiling, and the other could be sold. He just didn't know how much it was worth. Thinking of this, he put away 1 top-grade and 1 low-grade youth reversal pill, placed the last youth reversal pill into a jade bottle, and walked out of the secret chamber. Only now did he realize, besides Chen Xiling, there were 3 others in the courtyard. One of them was actually the one who competed with him for the betrothal gifts yesterday, the Qingyun sect disciple, Zhu Jianshen. "Senior, how did your refinement go?" Chen Xiling asked cautiously. Fang Chen smiled slightly and tossed the jade bottle in his hand to her. "This is yours." Chen Xiling caught it and looked, sensing the extraordinariness of this pill even through the jade bottle. Youth reversal pill. Liu Qingmin excitedly snatched it away, examining it closely again and again. "That's right, the drawing of the youth reversal pill your grandfather once made. I've seen it countless times. It looks exactly like this. Daughter, give it to mother." "Can you?" Chen Xiling was speechless. She had no doubt that if she dared to refuse, Liu Qingmin would sever their mother-daughter relationship on the spot. "You'd best ask Senior." Chen Xiling didn't quite dare to make the decision. Fang Chen said nonchalantly, "Since the pill was given to you, you can decide for yourself." After speaking, he prepared to leave. Wang Yingfeng quickly bent down and bowed, saying reverently, "Senior, may I ask if you have any spare youth reversal pills?" Chen Xiling also quickly spoke up. "Senior, this is Madame Zhu. Her son is a disciple of the Qingyun sect. Could you perhaps part with 1 youth reversal pill to sell to her?" Zhu Jianshen's mother Fang Chen gave a meaningful, faint smile and was about to step away. Zhu Jianshen, his eyes blazing with near-worshipful fanaticism, blocked Fang Chen's path and knelt down with a thud. Qingyun sect disciple Zhu Jianshen pays respects to Senior. This was a soul master capable of refining 3rd-grade spirit pills, meaning his rank was 3rd grade, an unparalleled 3rd-grade soul master. The Qingyun sect's 2nd-grade soul masters before him were only fit to bow their heads and call themselves disciples. With such a terrifying, peerless expert before him, if he didn't know how to seize the opportunity, he deserved to spend his entire life living at the very bottom of the martial world. Fang Chen glanced down at him and said, "What is it?" Zhu Jianshen's heart pounded wildly, stammering as Senior. This junior admires the path of the soul master and is willing to offer all of the Zhu family's wealth. "Please accept me as your disciple." Senior, although it was very abrupt, Zhu Jianshen understood. Meeting such a 3rd-grade soul master, Senior was already striking immense luck. Being able to exchange even a word was an opportunity accumulated over half a lifetime. If he didn't speak up quickly, he feared there would be no chance later. Fang Chen smiled, one moment trying to steal his woman, the next kneeling, begging to be accepted as a disciple. He stated directly, "You are not qualified." With that said, he made to leave. Wang Yingfeng panicked, stepped forward and slapped Zhu Jianshen, scolding, "Are you crazy? Don't you know your own status? How dare you dream of latching onto Senior, a 3rd-grade soul master? Was that someone their tiny Zhu family was qualified to associate with?" This was a peerless figure before whom even the Qingyun sect master would have to kneel in salute, an ordinary Qingyun sect disciple wanting to become his apprentice right away, like a clown. Not only that, but he had also incurred the soul master Senior's displeasure, potentially ruining her own chances for the youth reversal pill. She hurriedly chased after him, going repeatedly and apologizing, "Senior, I'm sorry. My son lacks worldliness. Please forgive him. Regarding the youth reversal pill, could I trouble Senior to be lenient?" Chen Xiling also shot Zhu Jianshen An annoyed glance. Did he have no self-awareness at all? Wanting to become a disciple upon first meeting. He was crazy desperate for success, immediately. She looked respectfully towards Fang Chen, and said softly, "Senior, could you give our Chen family face, and sell one more youth reversal pill? I believe Madame Zhu is willing to pay any price." Hearing this, Wang Yingfeng was immensely grateful. Just based on that sentence, she knew her jade bracelet worth 100,000 taels was not given to Chen Xiling in vain. Fang Chen seemed thoughtful. The youth reversal pill appeared to be even more sought after than he imagined. Liu Qingmin and Wang Yingfeng, two of solitary both cities' top noblewomen, were both so fervent willing. After pondering for a moment, Fang Chen took out a low-grade youth reversal pill and said, "Indeed, there is one more, however. I don't know its value either. If I ask too high a price, Madame Zhu loses out. If too low, I lose out. How about this? Let's hold an auction. The highest bidder gets it then." Saying this, he tossed this youth reversal pill to Chen Xiling. "I'll leave it to your Chen family to handle." This action startled Chen Xiling so much she almost screamed, hurriedly running over to catch it with both hands. This was a youth reversal pill, tossed so casually like an ordinary item. If it shattered, what an immense loss that would be. However, she immediately showed deep gratitude, saying excitedly, "Rest assured, Senior. We will definitely hold a spectacular auction. A third-grade spirit pill and an extremely rare youth reversal pill among third-grade pills, once put up for auction. What kind of sensation would it cause, at the very least?" The noblewomen of solitary boat city absolutely wouldn't sit still. That scene then, Chen Xiling thrilled inwardly. This was an excellent opportunity to elevate the Chen family's status once Fang Chen left. Wang Yingfeng sighed with regret. If it's an auction, I might not be able to obtain this pill. Those old women, for the sake of the youth reversal pill, would probably even offer their husbands and sons to Senior. Chen Xiling covered her mouth and chuckled lightly. Beside them, Liu Qingmin smugly swallowed the youth reversal pill. Under everyone's watchful eyes, her white hair truly turned dark. The wrinkles on her face smoothed out at a visible rate, and her skin became fair, supple, and tender. Her 40-year-old self, as if reborn, transformed into a young woman in her early 30s. Standing next to Chen Xiling, they didn't look like mother and daughter, but more like sisters. In just a few short breaths, a middle-aged woman became young. This earth-shattering change left Wang Yingfeng stunned. This is the effect of the youth reversal pill. Her breathing quickened, and she roughly pulled Zhu Jianshen to his feet. "Go. Return home immediately to prepare the money, no matter the cost. I must seize this youth reversal pill. I must." As for the top priority of arranging Liu Ruxue's marriage for her son, she had already tossed it beyond the ninth heaven. When Fang Chen returned home, Liu Ruxu was anxiously searching everywhere for him. Chen, did you hear? The Chen family is preparing to auction a youth reversal pill." Her face was filled with astonishment. "It's spreading like wildfire throughout solitary boat city's circle of noblewomen. It said even the city lord's wife has declared she absolutely must acquire it. For this, she even had a huge argument with the city lord." No way. Fang Chen rubbed his nose. He hadn't even reached home yet, and the news had already spread throughout the entire city. Moreover, wasn't the allure of the youth reversal pill a bit too immense? Seeing Liu Ruxue's astonished expression, Fang Chen asked in surprise, "Could it be you want a youth reversal pill too?" Liu Ruxu was currently in her youthful prime. Taking it would be useless. How could I dare to think of it? Liu Ruxu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. So many prominent noblewomen are fighting for it. What do I count for? I was just thinking about father. How over these years, he exhausted himself supporting the Liu family. And aged so much. Fang Chen nodded gently. I remember when I came to the Liu family 10 years ago. Liu Zhengyan was still young and vigorous. A middle-aged man with bright eyes. 10 years passed. Yet he looked weathered and haggard, standing next to the extremely well-maintained Wang Yingfeng. They looked like people from two different age groups. You will have it, Fang Chen smiled. Liu Ruxu sighed. Don't make light of it. This isn't something I can possibly obtain. As the two were talking, Liu Zhengyan appeared out of nowhere, standing at a corner, secretly waved them over. The two walked over in surprise. Liu Zhengyin confirmed no one was around. Carefully took out a stack of silver notes. Large ones, 10,000 taels, small ones, 100 taels, scattered bits and pieces, adding up to a full 100,000 taels. He stuffed them all into Liu Ruxu's hands. "Father, what is this?" Liu Ruxu said, stunned. Liu Zhengyin's eyes held a hint of shame, saying, "This is the private money father saved over the years. I originally intended to secretly give it to you after your marriage, so you two could live well. I didn't expect your stepmother would demand such harsh betrothal gifts. Take this money, go to the Chen family's auction tomorrow, and bid for that youth reversal pill." Liu Zhengyin sighed. "Your stepmother is driving everyone crazy now, insisting on getting that youth reversal pill if you use it as a betrothal gift. Even if she still disagrees with your marriage, she will hold back for the sake of the youth reversal pill." Liu Ruxu stood stunned and silent, gazing at Liu Zhengyin's aged appearance. Tears of emotion welling up in her eyes. She had never thought Liu Zhengyin cared about her, always believing his eyes were only for her younger sister. "Liu Ruxu, accompany Ruxu tomorrow. Try your best to win it. I hope you are the one who ultimately marries Ruxu." Liu Zhengyin patted Fang Chen's shoulder, showing a rare trace of appreciation towards him. Glancing around to ensure no one was watching, he quietly left again. A hint of relief showed in Fang Chen's eyes. So there was still a place for his elder daughter in his heart. It was just that for the sake of family interests, he had to show more concern for the younger daughter. This future father-in-law wasn't entirely useless after all. Looking at the silver notes in Liu Ruxu's hand, dark lines appeared on Fang Chen's forehead, spending money to bid on his own item. Who would believe it if this got out? The next day, Fang Chen, unsure whether to laugh or cry, went out with Liu Ruxu. Arriving at the Treasure Pavilion, today's auction venue was within the Treasure Pavilion. Just as the two arrived, from behind them, hurriedly walked to people, precisely Wang Yingfeng, and Liu Ruxu accompanying her. Seeing Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu, Wang Yingfeng was clearly taken aback, then frowned. "You're also here to bid for the youth reversal pill?" Liu Ruxu curtsied, nodding slightly. Wang Yingfeng still couldn't forget the embarrassment Fang Chen caused her, humping, said, "Don't think knowing Chen's styling means you can get the youth reversal pill. Soon, you will know the true foundation of our Liu family." With that, she quickly walked into the Treasure Pavilion with Liu Ruxu. Fang Chen sighed softly and said to Liu Ruxu, "Having her in your Liu family is a curse, not a blessing." The Liu family was facing debt collection from the Qin family. Yet there was no talk of using their foundation for her own appearance. She didn't hesitate to use the family's foundation. Liu Ruxu pressed her lips together. Liu Zhengyin had secretly saved up pocket money over the years, reluctant to spend it carelessly. The Wang Yingfeng, on the other hand, for her own looks, freely squandered the family's wealth. But what could she do about it? "Let's go. We'll try our best to bid for the youth reversal pill." The two entered side by side. Her stunning beauty stood out like a crane among chickens, immediately attracting the attention of those seated. "Ruxu, you came too." Zhu Jianshen in the very front row immediately showed a smile, quickly walking up to greet them. When he saw Fang Chen beside her, he immediately showed disgust. "Is this a place you can come to? Do you know what this is for?" Auctioning the youth reversal pill, Fang Chen shook his head, took out his brush and wrote, "If it weren't for young Master Zhu's reminder, I really wouldn't have known." Looking at the obviously sarcastic words, Zhu Jianshen felt even more displeased. "Conceited trash, think you have 510. 0 silver taels. Think you can stand in the auction hall and be on equal footing with me? See the seating arrangements here. Here, seating represents identity, represents status, represents foundation," he declared forcefully. "My Zhu family sits in the first row, and you don't even have the qualification to sit. You only deserve to stand. It's bad enough you embarrass yourself, but you drag Ruxu down with you." Saying this, he turned his gaze to Liu Ruxu, his previously frosty face beaming as he said, "Ruxu, come to my Zhu family's seats. My mother happens to want to meet you too." He even reached out, trying to pull Liu Ruxu. Fang Chen subtly stepped in front of him, blocking his filthy hand, wrote, "No need. My Ruxu likes standing, isn't that right, Ruxu. Liu Ruxu smiled, then nodded, even intimately linking her arm with Fang Chen's. This made Zhu Jianshen's eyes narrow. He considered Liu Ruxu his woman. How could he tolerate another man touching her? Just then, the Treasure Pavilion's manager happened to pass by. He immediately called out Manager Chen. Seeing it was the Zhu family's young master, a disciple of the Qingyun sect. Manager Chen immediately said respectfully, "Young Master Zhu, your esteemed presence brings honor to my humble Treasure Pavilion." Zhu Jianshen straightened his back, saying, "I came today to support your Treasure Pavilion. However, I don't like this person. Please trouble yourself to throw him out." Manager Chen turned to look at the person he pointed to, and couldn't help but freeze. It was actually Fang Chen, Liu Ruxu's fiancé. He was put in a difficult position, saying, "Young Master Zhu, Miss Liu is a good friend of our young miss. How can I just drive out her fiancé? What still dare not leave? A piece of trash." This made Zhu Jianshen lose a lot of face, flying into a rage. "If he doesn't leave, then I'll leave." Manager Chen, not wanting to offend Zhu Jianshen, could only quickly cup his hands. "Young Master Zhu, please wait a moment. I will go ask for instructions from..." The young miss watching his hastily retreating back. Zhu Jianshen glared viciously at Fang Chen. "You dog, let me open your eyes, and let you witness the foundation of my Zhu family. You'll soon find out, before the might of my Zhu family, just how lowly and insignificant you are." Liu Ruxu couldn't help but show a trace of anxiety. Although Chen Xiling was her close friend, she also bore the responsibilities of the Chen family. A prominent family like the Zhu family, how could she easily offend them? It was possible she really would drive Fang Chen out. Soon after, Manager Chen didn't delay long, quickly returning. He just gave Fang Chen a somewhat strange look, then cupped his hands towards young Master Zhu, hesitatingly saying, "The young miss has spoken." Zhu Jianshen stood with his hands behind his back, sneering, "Did you hear that, Fang Chen? She told you to scram." "But who would have known?" Manager Chen instead said, "The young miss told young Master Zhu. You, to scram." Chen. Zhu Jianshen froze, pointing at himself in disbelief. "Told me to scram, are you sure? No matter what." Even if Chen Xiling didn't like him, he was still the bona fide young master of the Zhu family. Between him and a piece of trash, Chen Xiling actually favored the trash. However, what was even more unacceptable to Zhu Jianshen was, Manager Chen added also, the young miss said, "Please trouble the Zhu family to vacate their seats, and let young Master Fang and Miss Liu sit there." "What?" Zhu Jianshen exclaimed in shock. "How is this possible?" Manager Chen said helplessly, "The young miss personally instructed. This old servant wouldn't dare relay it incorrectly. Men, clear out the Zhu family's seats." Several Treasure Pavilion staff members immediately stepped forward and escorted everyone from the Zhu family out of the front row. Wang Yingfeng was utterly astonished. Manager Chen, what happened? Manager Chen, helpless, explained the cause of the matter. Hearing this, Wang Yingfeng glared hatefully at Fang Chen. "So you're the Fang Chen who's stealing my son's woman, relying on your acquaintance with Chen Xiling to bully others wantonly. Fine, you just remember this. Tomorrow is the day for presenting betrothal gifts. I want to see with my own eyes what kind of betrothal gifts you can possibly use to win against our Zhu family." With that, her face filled with humiliation, she led the Zhu family members to stand in the very last row. Fang Chen merely shrugged, under the envious gazes of the entire audience, sat down in the VIP seats of the first row, witnessing the entire scene from behind the scenes. Chen Xiling couldn't help but shake her head. "I really break into a cold sweat for the Zhu family. Who could you target? But you actually target Fang Chen. He is the one you mother and son revere like a god, the peerless expert," Chen Xiling murmured with a sigh. Seeing that guests from all sides had arrived, she led 10 young women in red dresses, each holding several trays covered with red cloths, onto the stage. Her dazzling attire, beautiful face, and fresh, refined aura quieted the venue the moment she appeared. "Thank you, esteemed guests, for attending today's auction. Because it was organized hastily, I apologize for any trouble caused. As a token of apology, Xiling has decided to take out 9 precious collectibles from the Chen family to sell them cheaply to everyone. Still, the highest bidder wins." Fang Chen couldn't help but grin upon hearing this, wanting to leverage the fame of the youth reversal pill to sell some high-priced items along the way. Yet using the excuse of a token of apology, it had to be said, Chen Xiling was very suited for business. Therefore, although the guests below were very anxious, wanting to bid for the youth reversal pill, before these pleasant-sounding words, they could only patiently endure. He couldn't help but appraisingly observe Chen Xiling. Chen Xiling also noticed Fang Chen's gaze, and waves of joy surged in her heart, just as Fang Chen was observing closely. A soft voice sounded by his ear, "Are you two hiding something from me?" Fang Chen awkwardly retracted his gaze, saying, "I just admire her business talent. I don't mean anything else." Liu Ruxu said with a straight face, "I'm not doubting you. I'm doubting Chen Xiling. She seems to like you a bit too much." For Fang Chen's sake, she was even willing to drive out the Zhu family. Exactly why was Chen Xiling willing to go this far for Fang Chen? Fang Chen said guiltily, "I don't understand either." Liu Ruxu glanced sideways, sizing up Fang Chen, completely baffled, saying, "I also don't know what she likes about you. Don't be fooled by her easygoing nature. But when it comes to choosing a future husband, her standards are actually very high. To like you this much, I really didn't expect." Fang Chen's lip twitched. How come he never noticed before? She was so good at making digs, without using a single dirty word the entire time. As Chen Xiling finished her opening remarks, she decisively lifted the red cloth off the first tray, revealing a spirit grass capable of extending one's lifespan. It was rarely sold on the market. Fang Chen finally witnessed the fervor of the noble women. Though only worth 100,000, the wealthy ladies, eager to display their status, ignored that the price had far exceeded its market value, driving up the bids, ultimately selling it for the high price of 150,000. Chen Xiling was grinning from ear to ear, once again casting a grateful look towards Fang Chen. Without the youth rejuvenation pill drawing them in, gathering so many wealthy ladies for an auction would have been nearly impossible. An ordinary spirit grass could never have fetched the sky-high price of 150,000. Following that, she successively showcased several rare items. She was exceptionally clever, selling not only treasures needed by women, like high-grade rouge, skin whitening pills, and so on, but also thoughtfully preparing treasures for the elderly, men, and children, such as spirit grass for longevity, kidney tonifying spirit pills, height-promoting spirit fluids, and more. The wealthy ladies were also very willing to pay. The reason was simple: it silenced their families back home. Only then could they spend lavishly on the youth rejuvenation pill, without anyone having a word to say. Therefore, by the time the 8th collectible was auctioned off, Chen Xiling had already netted a profit of 500,000 silver taels, equivalent to the Chen family's income for the past year. This made her overjoyed. Setting aside the prestige this auction brought to the Chen family for now, the sheer amount of real gold and silver obtained was an astronomical figure. But she also knew when to stop, unveiling the cover of the 9th collectible, the vial of youth rejuvenation pills that all the city's wealthy ladies coveted. A glint of wisdom flashed in Chen Xiling's eyes as she said, "This vial of youth rejuvenation pills. I won't elaborate much. Allow my mother to explain for everyone." The reborn Liu Qingmin, dressed in pale red, a long dress with light makeup and simple jewelry, actually looked several years younger again, as if she were only in her 20s. Her appearance on stage left many wealthy ladies stunned. "Is that Madame Chen? Impossible. We just saw her the day before yesterday. She didn't look like this. Is she Liu Qingmin? You must be mistaken. Heavens. She hasn't just become 10 years younger. She looks more than 20 years younger." Zhang Yuxiu exclaimed in shock. Even though she had personally witnessed Liu Qingmin's transformation, she still almost didn't recognize her. This made her heart pound even faster, shouting, "No need for introductions. 200,000 silver taels, I'll buy it." Wang Yingfeng was greatly startled. He had only prepared 300,000, thinking if he was lucky, he might be able to buy it. Gritting his teeth, he said tentatively, trying his luck 3, before the words left his mouth. A voice filled with determination rang out. 400,000. It was the city lord's wife. She bid forcefully, glanced at Liu Qingmin, then back at the youth rejuvenation pill, her eyes burning with desire. 500,000. Another elderly matron from a major family did without hesitation. 600,000. 700,000. 800,000. As the price soared, Chen Silan's jaw nearly dropped. This is too insane. He truly couldn't comprehend how a single youth rejuvenation pill possessed such immense magic. Wang Yingfeng stared blankly, clutching the pitiful 300,000 silver taels in his hand, filled with bitterness. He had grossly underestimated the allure of the youth rejuvenation pill. 1 million. Zhang Yuxiu shouted loudly, announcing an earth-shattering price. Zhu Jianshen beside her was dumbfounded, urgently saying, "Mother, are you crazy? 1 million. Even the Zhu family might not be able to bear it. Just for a beauty pill, it's a devastating loss." "You shut up." Zhang Yuxiu's eyes were bloodshot. She scanned the surroundings and declared to anyone else, 1 million was simply too much. Even the city lord's wife waited carefully, finally giving up unwillingly. If even she was like this, one could imagine the state of the other wealthy ladies, all clenching their jaws, abandoning the bid in pain. 1,100,000. Young Master Fang bids 11 million. But just then, Fang Chen, sitting in the very front row with his legs crossed, casually raised his placard. Anyway, this youth rejuvenation pill was his. Bidding any amount was fine. Worst case, if no one competed, this pill would return to his hands. When Zhu Jianshen heard it was Fang Chen bidding, he snorted coldly, "Do you even have the money?" Shouting like that here, Chen Xiling frowned slightly, speaking up for Fang Chen whether the guest has money or not. "Our treasure pavilion will verify with the bidder afterwards. Anyone who makes reckless bids, our treasure pavilion will not let them off. After all these years, I believe no one dares to cause trouble at the treasure pavilion." The wealthy ladies murmured in agreement. At such a high-profile auction, causing trouble recklessly was asking for death. Chen Xiling continued. 11 million going once. 12 million. Zhang Yuxiu glared at Fang Chen, gritted her teeth and said 2 million. For the Zhu family, this was becoming unbearable. They would have to sell some assets to gather so much money. 13 million. Young Master Fang bids 13 million. Chen Xiling looked at Fang Chen's raised placard and shouted excitedly. Zhang Yuxiu flew into a rage. This guy was deliberately going against her. She felt inclined to give up, to teach Fang Chen a harsh lesson. The thinking of Liu Qingmin's transformation. She steeled her heart once more. 1 for million. If you dare bid again, then it's yours. Fang Chen pursed his lips and stopped bidding. The money he had on him happened to be exactly 3 million. Zhu Jianshen, however, collapsed onto the ground, his vision turning black. It reached 1 for million. He never dreamed this pill would actually cost 14 million. This had already damaged the Zhu family's foundation. 1 million was already the limit. The extra for 100,000 was somewhat fatal, and this for 100,000 was paid because of Fang Chen's malicious price inflation. Chen Xiling was immensely delighted and immediately completed the transaction with her. However, the auction was not yet over. Chen Xiling lifted the red cloth off the last collectible, revealing a 3-foot section of wood, as thick as an arm. Its entire body was charred black, with residual marks of lightning strikes. Many people recognized it. Lightning-struck wood. Can this be considered a collectible? A wealthy lady voiced her doubt. Lightning-struck wood is just the residue left after lightning strikes and burns something. It has some value, but not high, and it's not considered rare on the market. You can still buy it if you search a few material shops, Chen Xiling said. Distinguished guests, there's naturally a reason why Xiling placed it last. This was witnessed by my grandfather. He saw a towering tree gain sentience, actually capturing passing pedestrians and absorbing their blood. A 5-colored heavenly lightning descended, burning it until only its section remained. It is definitely different from ordinary lightning-struck wood. But my grandfather studied it for many years and couldn't figure anything out. If any distinguished guests feel an affinity with it, you can buy it back to continue the research. Hearing this, many wealthy ladies rose uninterestedly to leave. And in an instant, more than half the people were gone. Chen Xiling gave a wry smile. It seems no one wants this piece of lightning-struck wood. I bid 100,000. Just then, Liu Ruxu called out reluctantly. Fang Chen beside her held up the placard for 100,000 silver taels, a faint golden glint in his eyes. fixed tightly on the lightning-struck Wu. He was somewhat incredulous. The lightning-patterned spirit, described in the Tai soul technique, actually existed. The wealthy ladies were astonished. There was actually a sucker willing to buy it, and starting the bid at 100,000 silver taels, when it was clearly just ordinary lightning-struck wood. Still too young, Chen Xiling is a merchant. She casually concocts an unverifiable story, and he actually believed her words. When Zhu Jianshen heard it was Fang Chen, anger instantly flared up, and he immediately opened his mouth to raise the price. Fang Chen had caused the Zhu family to paying extra for 100,000. He wanted Fang Chen to pay a price too, but just then, he noticed Fang Chen was also sizing him up. A faint smile playing on his lips, Zhu Jianshen suddenly realized, this damn dog wants to trick my Zhu family's money again. I almost fell for it. He quickly shut his mouth, crossed his arms over his chest, and watched Fang Chen's performance with a cold smile. Chen Xiling paused, stunned, not expecting Fang Chen to bid. So she asked 3 consecutive times, but no one was willing to fight for this worthless piece of lightning-struck wood, and it was sold for the price of 100,000 silver taels. Young Master Fan, could it be that you've discerned the extraordinary nature of this lightning-struck wood? Chen Xiling couldn't help asking curiously. From afar, Zhu Jianshen scoffed derisively. What's extraordinary? He just failed to scam anyone, and ended up being the sucker himself. Haha. Wang Yingfeng also grunted discontentedly. A disgraceful thing, spending 100,000 silver taels on a piece of broken wood. How preposterous! Liu Ruxu raised an eyebrow, gazing indifferently at Fang Chen, just nouveau rich. Thinking he's some big shot who can spend money like water. Liu Ruxu felt even more reproachful inwardly. 100,000 taels. Just for a piece of broken wood. She couldn't figure out why Fang Chen would buy it at such a high price. On the stage, after Fang Chen received the lightning-struck wood, he nodded slightly and wrote it, indeed, isn't ordinary wood. Although it doesn't look like much, it actually hides something good within. After speaking, he discreetly mobilized his powerful soul power, probing deep into the lightning-struck wood, forcing up minuscule droplets of emerald green liquid, invisible to the naked eye. He then took out a jade vial, collecting them drop by drop. A moment later, when no more emerald green liquid emerged, the jade vial was already full, emitting a rich, deep fragrance. Liu Ruxu took a light sniff, then shot straight up, exclaiming in shock, Essence of Flora. It's the Essence of Flora. Zhu Jianshen also recognized it, hurrying over, his face showing astonishment. It truly is the Essence of Flora. Some knowledgeable wealthy ladies now also had eyes full of shock. Essence of Flora, legend says, is the accumulated essence of plants that have gained sentience. Over days and months after a refinement realm martial artist consumes it, they can directly break through a realm, even for foundation establishment realm cultivators. Consuming it has the miraculous effect of greatly enhancing cultivation. It's a divine item difficult to find even for 1,000,000 taels outside, yet he obtained such a bottle for only 100,000 taels. Enough for people to break through. As these words came out, the wealthy lady's eyes lit up. This young master, my Zhong family, is willing to offer for 100,000 silver taels for 1/3 of the Essence of Flora, once reaching the 6th level of refinement or higher. Without top-tier spirit roots, every breakthrough required consuming astronomical resources. Spending only for 100,000 to break through a level was simply the best deal imaginable. Zhu Jianshen wanted to slap himself. The Essence of Flora, a treasure seen once in a century, was placed right before him, and he actually missed it. He gritted his teeth and said, Fang Chen, give me this ball, and the grudge between us will be written off. Fang Chen chuckled, amused and annoyed. Writing, I actually prefer having a grudge between us. Zhu Jianshen flew into a rage, stomping his foot hard, saying, fine, fine, you just wait. We'll settle this tomorrow, when presenting the betrothal gifts. After speaking, he angrily flung his sleeves and left. As for the wealthy ladies' requests to purchase, Fang Chen politely declined, letting them leave with faces full of regret. Fang Chen, you obtained something good. Shouldn't you leave some for our Liu family? Wang Yingfeng, face full of jealousy, pulled Liu Ruxu over, saying confidently, all these years, you haven't eaten or drunk little from the Liu family. One must have a conscience, understand? I won't be greedy, like a lion opening its mouth. This bottle of Essence of Flora, you give 1/4 of it to our Liu family. Hearing this, Chen Xiling rolled her eyes, even as an outsider. She knew the Liu family hadn't treated Fang Chen well over the years. Absolutely not treating him like a life-saving benefactor, even reneging on the previously agreed marriage contract midway. Now they have the nerve to talk about having a conscience. Liu Ruxu also became a little angry. Isn't Wang Yingfeng bullying people too much? She frowned and said this is Fang Chen's own money, obtained through his own ability. Why should he give it to the Liu family? Zi Chen, ignore her. Liu Ruxu also felt completely embarrassed by Wang Yingfeng, whispering, Mother, what are you doing asking for his things? My own cultivation. I will find my own way. Although she also disliked Fang Chen, she would never dislike Fang Chen. While simultaneously coveting his benefits, that would be utterly shameless. But what no one expected was, Fang Chen actually portioned out 1/4 of the Essence of Flora. Writing meaningfully, Aunt Wang is right. The Liu family has shown me the grace of help these 10 years, a mere bit of Essence of Flora. Why would I be reluctant to part with it? Chen Xiling and Liu Ruxu stomped their feet anxiously. Is Fang Chen too foolish to actually give away the Essence of Flora so easily? It was obvious Wang Yingfeng wanted Liu Ruxu to consume it. Liu Ruxu also hadn't expected Fang Chen to be willing to give it. Looking Fang Chen over again, she thought carefully. Apart from Fang Chen's slightly lower aptitude, he was actually impeccable. She didn't know why or since when she had started disliking him. Wang Yingfeng inwardly sneered with contempt. So what if he is money? Isn't he still under my thumb? I tell you to share the Essence of Flora, and you immediately share it like an obedient son. Hehe. Very quickly, Wang Yingfeng's expression stiffened. She saw that Fang Chen did not give that 1/4 of the Essence of Flora to her, but instead brought it before Liu Ruxu. Tinged opened her cherry-like small mouth with one hand, and poured the Essence of Flora into her mouth with the other. Cough, 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 cough. Zi Chen, what are you doing? Caught off guard, Liu Ruxu choked. Fang Chen shrugged, writing your aunt said it. I must repay your Liu family this 1/4 of the Essence of Flora. Giving it to you, the eldest young miss of the Liu family. Isn't that only right and proper? All right, stop talking nonsense, quickly sit down and cultivate. See if the effect is as the rumors say. Liu Ruxu had many things she wanted to say, but unfortunately, after the Essence of Flora entered her body, it immediately erupted with incomparably strong spiritual energy, frightening Liu Ruxu into quickly sitting cross-legged to cultivate, coordinating with the imperial high-grade heart technique Fang Chen gave her. In just the blink of an eye, she broke through to the 4th level of refinement. However, it wasn't over yet, because her cultivation base was relatively low, and the medicinal effect was too strong. After the time it takes to drink a cup of tea, she broke through another level again, reaching the 5th level of refinement. And along with the final surge from the Essence of Flora, she advanced to the peak of the 5th level of refinement, needing only a few days of quiet cultivation to break through to the 6th level of refinement. This scene made Liu Ruxu both surprised and envious. Back when she broke through to the 6th level of refinement, it had taken her a full half year, but her sister, just because Fang Chen gave her a bit of Essence of Flora, had reached it. The huge contrast made her feel complicated emotions. She looked at Fang Chen, lightly biting her red lip, turned around, and left. Wang Yingfeng was furious, snapping Fang Chen. You humiliate my daughter like this. Tomorrow, I'll make you pay. Fang Chen shrugged. While she hadn't left yet, he portioned out another 1/4 vial and gave it to Chen Xiling. This vial is for you. Wang Yingfeng's vision went black. He'd rather give it to an outsider than her own daughter. She would remember this score. Chen Xiling, however, jumped in fright. This is so precious, I can't accept it. Fang Chen smiled without speaking, stuffing it into her arms. Secretly smiling inwardly, who told you that the most precious part of the lightning pattern's spirit wood is the Essence of Flora inside? Its most valuable aspect is the material itself. Having witnessed the heaven-defying effect of the Essence of Flora, how could Chen Xiling dare to accept it? She quickly refused. I really don't dare accept it. Liu Ruxu saw her pushing it back and forth. went forward irritably, pulled open her collar, and stuffed the essence of Flora inside. Don't be polite, anyway. You don't treat Zhi Chen like an outsider either. The double entendre startled Chen Xiling. She quickly explained, Ruxu, listen to me. Things aren't how you imagine them. The reason I'm polite to Fang Chen is because she stammered. Unable to continue, without Fang Chen's permission, how would she dare reveal Fang Chen's identity as a soulmaster? All right, you're already stuttering. What's there to explain? Liu Ruxu gave her a complicated look, rolling her eyes slightly. We've known each other for so many years. Don't I know what you're thinking? It's okay if you like Fang Chen. No, he's my fiancé. You need to restrain yourself a bit. I don't want, for the sake of a man, to ruin our years of friendship. These words, each drawing blood, made Chen Xiling's face turn as red as a steamed crab. So nervous she couldn't speak clearly. You've really misunderstood. I really don't. She was about to cry. But no matter how she explained, she couldn't make it clear. Liu Ruxu poked her forehead. I already said. No need to argue, we're leaving. She took Fang Chen's arm and left the auction house with light steps. Some things, rather than burying them in the heart and letting them become a rift between both parties, it's better to speak frankly and draw the boundaries clearly beforehand. Given Chen Xiling's character, since she had clearly stated she didn't want Fang Chen disturbed, she would know what to do from now on. Fang Chen looked back at Chen Xiling's wry smile, asking doubtfully, no way, did you really misunderstand? Liu Ruxu stated firmly, no, she just likes you, all right. But intuition told Fang Chen, there must be a misunderstanding somewhere. Returning home, Fang Chen also took out his 1/4 of the Essence of Flora, sat cross-legged, and immediately swallowed it. A vial of Essence of Flora contained immense energy, which instantly filled his limbs and bones, giving him a sense of swelling throughout his body. He immediately circulated the clear wine true scripture, refining streams of pure energy into his own spiritual power. Not long after, his body trembled, truly worthy of being the Essence of Flora. I've successfully broken through to the 8th level of refinement. Fang Chen's face showed joy. Unfortunately, the Essence of Flora is only effective the first time it's consumed. Looking at the last remaining 1/4 portion of the Essence of Flora, Fang Chen put it away. Seeing it was still around midday, Fang Chen remembered today's batch of high-grade refining liquid hadn't been delivered to the Chen family yet, and tomorrow was the day for presenting betrothal gifts. He might not have time to deliver it then. Thinking of this, he simply, in one go, refined the high-grade refining liquid for the next several days. This bout of busyness lasted until late at night. Looking at the over 300 vials of high-grade refining liquid in his possession, Fang Chen was panting from exhaustion, dragging his tired body to the Chen family residence. So many Chen Xiling was stunned. Fang Chen said, I'll be busy the next few days, so I won't be coming over. As for the money, give it to me after you sell this batch of high-grade refining liquid. He left after saying that. Chen Xiling secretly felt grateful. 3 million silver taels. She indeed couldn't produce that amount. It was thanks to Fang Chen trusting her. Watching Fang Chen leave, Chen Xiling started counting the high-grade refining liquid. Suddenly, she was suddenly covered by a dark cloud. Looking up, she got a fright. Under the moonlight, a giant marten circled and descended. On the marten's back stood 2 figures, a man and a woman. It was the returned vice pavilion master of Qianji Pavilion, Chen Zhengdao, and the daughter of the Qingyun sect master, Liu Qingshan. The two flew down swiftly. Liu Qingshan hurriedly stepped forward to size up Chen Xiling, saying, you are the young miss of the Chen family. Chen Xiling wore a wary expression. Chen Xiling snapped, who are you? How dare you trespass into the important grounds of my Chen family? He vaguely sensed that the cultivation of these two was extremely powerful, especially the man, who gave him a suffocating feeling. Chen Zhengdao stood with his hands behind his back, saying, I am Chen Zhengdao, Vice Pavilion Master of Qianji Pavilion, and this is the daughter of the Qingyun sect master. Chen Xiling was utterly shocked, hurriedly bowing in salute. Junior Chen Xiling pays respects to the 2 seniors. His heart pounded, and at the same time, he was extremely apprehensive, completely unaware why these 2 major figures would grace the Chen family with their presence, Liu Qingshan spoke urgently, saying, "I heard you hosted an auction today. And the finale item auction was the Youth Rejuvenation Pill. Is this true?" News of the Youth Rejuvenation Pill had spread like wildfire, reaching the surrounding cities in just one day. Upon learning this, the two rushed to the Chen family to investigate immediately. Because the Youth Rejuvenation Pill is a Grade 3 spirit pill, only a 3-star soul master could successfully refine such a pill. A 3-star soul master appearing within the territory of the Qingyun sect, this matter was of no small importance. Hearing this, Chen Silin actually relaxed. Ever since cooperating with Fang Chen, he had anticipated that powers would seek him out, asking about the soul master, so he had long been mentally prepared. Replying to Senior Liu, "That is indeed the case." Hearing this, Liu Qingshan's peerless face showed a trace of pleasant surprise. "The person who refined the pill, have you seen them?" Chen Silin answered smoothly. "He has been cooperating with my Chen family recently, refining high-grade refining liquid. However, his appearance, age, name, and even gender, this junior does not know. He uses a wide robe to conceal his figure, although this junior is curious. I dare not inquire." Hearing this answer, Liu Qingshan's eyes filled with disappointment. She had planned to ask clearly about the other party's appearance, and then find him. If they could invite a Grade 3 soul master to the Qingyun sect, without a doubt, the Qingyun sect's strength would surge in a short period. Chen Zhengdao, however, saw the high-grade refining liquid on the table, picked up a vial, opened it, brought it to his nose and sniffed. A glint of golden light flashed in his eyes. The quality is much better than the high-grade refining liquid on the market. This is definitely not something a 2-star soul master can refine. This person is indeed a 3-star soul master. Miss, when will he return? Commander Chen calmly pointed to the table full of refining liquid. That senior said he has matters to attend to these few days and won't be coming, so he refine a large amount in advance. As for when he will come next time, this junior dares not confirm. Hearing this, Chen Zhengdao nodded slightly. Thank you for informing me. With that said, he casually handed over a rather powerful talisman, worth several tens of thousands of silver taels. Commander Chen accepted it joyfully. Thank you, Senior. Thank you, Senior. Qingshan. Let's go. Chen Zhengdao leapt onto the giant eagle, while Liu Qingshan, face full of reluctance, followed closely and jumped on. The giant eagle shrieked once and soared straight up, vanishing beyond the 9 heavens, leaving no trace. But in truth, it hadn't flown far. Instead, it hid within a dark cloud. Uncle Chen, are we just letting it go like this? That's a 3-star soul master. The pavilion master of the heavenly secret pavilion seems to be only a 3-star soul master. Right, such a figure, even if we don't recruit him for our own use, we should at least investigate his identity thoroughly. How can we just leave like this? Liu Qingshan anxiously thought. Chen Zhengdao stood with his hands clasped behind his back, overlooking Commander Chen's every move. His eyes narrowed slightly. Who said we just left? Aren't I looking for him right now? Liu Qingshan paused, stunned. By stopping here, will that soul master just pop out on his own? A profound, inscrutable smile touched Chen Zhengdao's lips. Haven't you noticed, this little girl from the Chen family, when answering our questions, was a bit too smooth? Liu Qingshan recalled. And also sensed something amiss, she said. Indeed, it was very smooth, as if the answers were prepared in advance. Chen Zhengdao paused, then said, my guess is, she's deliberately covering for this 3-star soul master. To find that soul master, we just need to follow her, see who she contacts these next few days, and it will all become clear. Commander Chen nonchalantly put all the refining liquid back into the room. Only then did a look of lingering fear appear on her calm face. Luckily, Fang Chen left early, otherwise there would have been trouble. She patted her chest, her heart pounding wildly. Whether these two were friend or foe to Fang Chen, she couldn't be sure. She absolutely couldn't let them find Fang Chen. Commander Chen bit her fingers slightly. She forced herself to calm down. They definitely haven't left. They're most likely watching in secret. If I contact Fang Chen now, I will definitely expose him. In that case, I can't go tomorrow when Fang Chen presents his betrothal gifts. The next day, Just as dawn broke, the people of the Liu family rose early. Because today was the day Fang Chen would present his betrothal gifts. It was said the Zhu family would likely come too. Then, both sides would compete openly. Whoever offered fewer gifts would lose face. The Liu family members were very curious. How much Fang Chen could offer in betrothal gifts. And whether he could ultimately keep Liu Ruxu. Finish your work quickly. Let's go take a look too. See who our new young master-in-law will be. Is there even a need to ask? Of course, it's young Master Zhu. He's a disciple of the Azure Cloud sect, and the Zhu family is one of the top wealthy households. Not necessarily, I heard yesterday. Fang Chen spent only 100.00 silver taels. And got several bottles of Essence of Flora. One bottle is worth hundreds of thousands. Fang Chen's betrothal gifts definitely won't be trivial. Isn't that the truth? I'm even a bit envious of the eldest miss. Although she doesn't have the master's favor. She's marrying more splendidly than any other family's young miss. Do you think the second miss regrets it? After all, Fang Chen was originally supposed to marry the second miss. Just then, Liu Ruxu emerged from the training grounds. Hearing the maids gossiping, her expression instantly turned cold. She scolded. You all don't need to work anymore, is that it? The maid scattered in a hurry. But her mood remained unsettled for a long time, gripping her sword hilt tightly. Liu Ruxu gritted her silver teeth. Me, regret, what a joke. No matter how good or valuable Fang Chen's betrothal gifts are, I don't care for them. I don't care sulking. She passed by Wang Yingfeng's room, and heard arguing still coming from inside. Liu Jianshen, it's all your fault. Why are you so useless? Why can't you earn more money? The youth retaining pill is right there, but I'm too poor to afford it. I heard after Zhang Yuxiu bought it and took it. She also became 20 years younger, when she's with her son. She looks like his older sister. Why is my fate so bitter, being held back by your Liu family? Liu Ruxu sighed softly. It's been all night. Are they still making a fuss, ever since returning from the auction house? Wang Yingfeng had been relentless. After learning about Zhang Yuxiu's transformation, she threw even bigger tantrums, arguing irreconcilably with Liu Jianshen. It's really hard on Dad. When, in the future, I marry my destined one of high status, I'll definitely have him find a way to get a youth-retaining pill so Dad can compensate Mom. Suddenly, the sound of firecrackers exploding together arrived. Liu Ruxu smiled faintly. The Zhu family's betrothal gift procession is here, although she knew very well that Zhu Jianshen had once nearly assaulted her sister. Marrying him was like a lamb entering the tiger's den. She hoped even more that her sister wouldn't marry Fang Chen. Because if she married Fang Chen, if her sister lived poorly, that would be one thing, but if she lived very happily, wouldn't that prove she had been blind back then? To give up Fang Chen, I hope young Master Zhu can win. Liu Ruxu silently thought. In Fang Chen's room, Liu Ruxu had arrived early in the morning. She lay in Fang Chen's arms, silently shedding tears. Little Chen, can we really be together? Although initially marrying in her sister's place, she felt somewhat wronged in her heart. But after spending some time together, she realized she had already fallen for this childhood friend who had pretended to be mute for so many years. Besides Fang Chen, she didn't want to marry anyone else. Fang Chen gently patted her back and said, silly girl. Of the promises I've made to you, how many haven't I fulfilled? I said I would marry you, so I definitely will marry you. No one can stop it, that's what he said. But what about reality? Liu Ruxu's brow remained furrowed. After the last incident, the Zhu family's preparations, this time, would surely be even more thorough. Plus, Fang Chen had completely offended Wang Yingfeng these past few days, so she would naturally lean more towards the Zhu family. Little Chen, why don't you give a portion of the Essence of Flora to Aunt Wang, to let her cool down? Otherwise, I'm very worried she will make things extremely difficult for you. Fang Chen shook his head. Haven't you heard the story of Mr. Dongwo and the wolf? A wolf can never be satisfied. Give it all the meat, and it will want to eat the flesh off your bones. Wang Yingfeng is the same. Give her the Essence of Flora, and she be satisfied. No, she want the 510. 0 silver taels I have. She want you to obey her every word. She want you to marry into the Zhu family, to gain even more benefits. Hearing this, Liu Ruxu knew in her heart this was true, but if they didn't do this, when Wang Yingfeng went crazy later, even Liu Zhengyan wouldn't be able to stop her. Don't worry, the betrothal gifts I prepared, Wang Yingfeng will be satisfied with them. Even if I slapped her across the face a few times, she would still grit her teeth and say she's very satisfied. Liu Ruxu looked astonished. What kind of betrothal gifts are so exaggerated? Seeing that Fang Chen didn't seem to be joking, she grew even more curious. The sound of gongs and drums arrived. Liu Ruxu's body trembled, and she hugged Fang Chen even tighter, as if she were about to lose him immediately. Fang Chen said with a faint smile, "Don't rush. After the betrothal gifts are presented, you can hug however you want." Liu Ruxu was both shy and annoyed. What time is it now? Still making this kind of joke, after nestling in his arms for a good while, Liu Ruxu finally took a deep breath and followed Fang Chen with heavy steps to the Liu family's main hall. At this time, Liu Zhengyan, Wang Yingfeng, Liu family members like Liu Zhang, and others had already arrived in the hall, except for Liu Zhengyan, who sincerely hoped Fang Chen would win. The others were either gloating over his potential misfortune or held no expectations. Liu Zhang, especially, found an opportunity to speak sarcastically in front of the entire clan. "Fang Chen, don't feel pressured. It's not like you can win anyway, originally." Fang Chen didn't want to bother with him, but Liu Zhang wouldn't stop talking, sneering, "The woman I couldn't get. You won't get her in the end either. If you ask me, you should just honestly admit defeat. That way, you can at least save some face, otherwise, the Zhu family's betrothal gifts will make you utterly ashamed." "Shut up!" a disgusted soft rebuke came. It was the usually gentle Liu Ruxu scolding unhappily. "Liu Zhang, you yourself are disappointing. Don't assume little Chen is the same. Little Chen is 100 times stronger than you. Between men, comparisons are the most feared thing, especially in front of the woman they admire." Liu Zhang said, ashamed and angry. "How is Fang Chen stronger than me?" He couldn't continue. Not long ago, in front of Vice Pavilion Master Chen, he had been effortlessly crushed by Fang Chen like beating a dog. So Liu Zhang changed his tune. "What did he give you to make you defend him like this?" Liu Ruxu couldn't bear it anymore. She stood up and slapped towards Liu Zhang. Liu Zhang was furious. Good. Even a woman dares to attack me now. Then don't blame me for being impolite. If Liu Ryan attacked, I could only take the beating. After all, she's at the 9th layer of Refinement, but Liu Ruxu is merely at the 2nd layer of Refinement. Yet she dares to attack me. Fine. Wang Yingfeng has disliked Liu Ruxu for a long time. I'll help Wang Yingfeng vent her anger. So he met her palm with a furious laugh and a punch. But the moment they clashed, Liu Zhang was shocked to discover his spiritual energy was actually inferior to Liu Ruxu's. Her palm slapped his hand away, and then slapped him across the face, sending him sprawling to the ground. The Liu family members, who had just been sneering along with Liu Zhang, all stared at Liu Ruxu in shock, as if they'd seen a ghost. Liu Ruxu, however, retracted her palm expressionlessly, staring at Liu Zhang with disgust. "Now you know what little Chen gave me." The Liu family members were utterly shocked. Is she Liu Ruxu? Am I mistaken? Wasn't she at the 2nd layer of Refinement? Since when did she become a 5th layer Refinement expert capable of defeating Liu Zhang? Was this given to her by Fang Chen? No wonder. She's so devoted to Fang Chen. Turns out Fang Chen secretly gave her so many benefits. If I were Liu Ruxu, I'd be willing to marry Fang Chen too. Liu Ruxu returned to Fang Chen's side and whispered, "Was what I did okay?" Fang Chen patted her head and took up a brush to write. "Why bother arguing with a defeated dog?" Liu Ruxu said, "When flies are buzzing annoyingly, you should pick up a fly swatter. A few swats and they quiet down." Liu Zhang on the ground clutched his burning face, filled with hatred. "Fang Chen, you just wait." Fang Chen looked over and wrote with his brush, "What do you plan to do to me, O great prodigy Liu of the 9th grade spiritual root? Killing the body and attacking the heart." The misunderstanding about the 9th grade spiritual root was Liu Zheng's most humiliating shame. Liu Zhang was instantly so angry his eyes bulged, his chest heaved violently, and his vision went dark. "Humph, Fang Chen, do you even see me?" Wang Yingfeng slammed the table and furiously berated him. Her patience with Fang Chen completely exhausted. Fang Chen wrote with absolute earnestness, "Are you worthy?" Just 3 short words, yet the contempt leapt off the page. The Liu family members were terrified to actually humiliate Wang Yingfeng so openly. Liu Ruxu was so scared her heart almost jumped out. She hastily pressed down his note, urgently saying, "Are you crazy? Why provoke her at this critical moment?" Liu Ryan's eyes turned cold, glaring fiercely at Fang Chen. This was already the 2nd time Fang Chen had disrespected her mother. "Fang Chen, if today you become my Liu family's son-in-law, Fine, considering you one of us, count I and apologize to my mother. And this matter will end. If you don't become one, I will fight you to the death." Fang Chen also looked at Liu Ryan and wrote bluntly, "A woman like your mother, both wicked and stupid. Why should I fight to the death for her? Is she worthy?" Fang Chen was actually still humiliating Wang Yingfeng. The Liu family members were dumbfounded. Fang Chen said what we wanted to say but didn't dare. But he's too impulsive. Still too young, after all, doesn't know restraint. Liu Zhengyan felt utterly exasperated, hastily saying, "Fang Chen, stop talking nonsense." He shot Fang Chen a look, telling him to endure for now. Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu's marriage hinged on Wang Yingfeng's temper. If Wang Yingfeng became furious, this marriage would surely be off. But now, the warning was too late. Wang Yingfeng flew into a thunderous rage, grabbing a teacup, smashing it fiercely onto the ground, shattering it to pieces. Scalding tea splashed onto the surrounding clansmen, causing some to cry out in pain. Rebel rebellion. Wang Yingfeng gritted her teeth, trembling all over with rage. "If I let you to get married today, I'll write my name backward from now on." The entire hall fell deathly silent. No one had ever seen Wang Yingfeng fly into such a towering rage. They looked towards Fang Chen, all showing expressions of pity. Liu Ruxu's pretty face also turned pale. "There's no need to compare the betrothal gifts anymore. The Zhu family will definitely win." Wang Yingfeng had even publicly made a terrible vow like writing her name backward. She couldn't think of any reason that could make Wang Yingfeng take back her words. Only Fang Chen remained unfazed, leisurely writing, "Don't worry, you will." Liu Zhengyan thought Fang Chen must be crazy. He had angered her to this state. She had even made a terrible vow. How could she possibly slap her own face and treat her own words like breaking wine? In-law, why such a big temper? Zhang Yuxiu led Zhu Jianshen, entering the hall with a beaming smile. Behind them, servants carried countless treasure chests, filled with a dazzling array of betrothal gifts, far more numerous than last time. Wang Yingfeng looked at Zhang Yuxiu and almost didn't recognize her. She wore a purple silk robe, her skin smooth and rosy, her hair jet black. Standing next to Zhu Jianshen, she looked only a few years older. Is this the effect of the youth-retaining pill? Before, when others mentioned it, she had harbored doubts, thinking they were exaggerating. Only now did she realize Zhang Yuxiu's change was even greater than the rumors. Jealousy overwhelmed her heart completely. A single pill could make one 20 years younger. For a woman, this was more attractive than any divine pill that enhanced strength. What a pity, how hateful. There was only that one pill. She rose with a complex expression and went to greet them. Zhang Yuxiu heard the envy in her tone, feeling quite smug. Saw it in high spirits. "In-law, cheer up. Today is a joyous day for your Liu family, Shenner. Quickly come and greet your future mother-in-law." Zhu Jianshen quickly smiled and said politely, "Your humble son-in-law." Zhu Jianshen pays respects to mother-in-law. Wang Yingfeng still couldn't lift her spirits, forcing a smile. "Please, sit," returning to her seat. Wang Yingfeng was still absent-minded, especially, and she noticed the Liu family members, both men and women, their gazes fixed on the rejuvenated and graceful Zhang Yuxiu. Her mood grew even heavier. Liu Zhengyan said calmly, "Madam Zhu, what betrothal gifts have you brought today?" Looking at the dazzling gold, silver, and jewels, he couldn't help but sweat for Fang Chen. Zhu Jianshen took over, allowed this humble son-in-law to introduce them. "Gold, silver, and jewels, worth 1 million taels." Hissed the Liu family members, gasped. The sullen Wang Yingfeng also perked up. 1 million taels, that was an astronomical sum. If I had gotten this much silver earlier, Yesterday's youth-retaining pill would have been mine. Zhu Jianshen was very satisfied with their reaction. Continuing 20 bottles of superior mid-grade refining liquid, worth 200,000 taels. 1 royal rank low-grade cultivation technique scroll, worth 300,000 taels. 1 low-grade spirit tool, worth 500,000 taels. Hearing the last item was actually a spirit tool, even Liu Ruxu couldn't sit still. Exclaiming, a spirit tool, like ordinary weapons. A spirit tool is a weapon containing spiritual energy. Using it can multiply the power of techniques. Something of this grade, only the Azure Cloud sect possesses. And its value is extremely astonishing, a reward only disciples with great merit can obtain. She couldn't help but envy Liu Ruxu for receiving such generous betrothal gifts. Wang Yingfeng was also beaming with joy. Adding it all up, worth 2 million silver taels. Good son-in-law for my Ruxu to meet you. It's truly her blessing. Wang Yingfeng couldn't stop smiling. Zhu Jianshen also felt assured in his heart. The matter was settled. He turned his head to look at the calm-faced Fang Chen nearby, revealing a provocative expression. Wasn't Fang Chen very arrogant at the auction house yesterday? Can he bring that arrogance now and apply it to today's betrothal gifts? Let me see. If your betrothal gifts are worthy of your arrogance. Fang Chen slowly opened his eyes and unhurriedly wrote a line. Just this. Everyone in the Liu family stared at these 2 words. Stunned. What did that mean? Did he think the Zhu family's gifts were too few? Betrothal gifts totaling 2 million taels. The first time ever in solitary boat city's history. Could Fang Chen actually look down on such gifts? In contrast, a trace of despair appeared on Liu Ruxu's face. These were gifts worth 2 million taels. What could Fang Chen compare with? Even if all of yesterday's Essence of Flora were sold, it would only be a little over 1 million taels. Adding the 510,000 taels Fang Chen already had, it still wouldn't reach 2 million taels. Zhu Jianshen sneered mockingly. If the money from that Essence of Flora hasn't been spent yet, you might barely qualify to compete with me. But now, you have no money left. What do you have to compete with me? Liu Zhong finally found a chance for revenge. Sneering sarcastically, young Master Zhu. Although this guy is mute, his mouth is tougher than anyone's. His face has been slap swollen, but his mouth still shows no mercy. Only when you hold Liu Ruxu in your arms will he roll on the ground in pain. Wang Yingfeng's good mood instantly vanished because of Fang Chen's words. You even look down on 2 million taels worth of gifts. Young Master Fang, how much can you give? Liu Zhengyan sighed heavily. There was no need to compete anymore. Even if Fang Chen had the god of wealth helping him, he couldn't possibly procure this much silver. Continuing the comparison would only embarrass Fang Chen. All right. Since young Master Zhu has presented his gifts, the marriage is settled. Fang Chen's gifts, there's no need to bring them out. Slap, but Wang Yingfeng slammed the table. Snorting, stop shielding this trash from me. Did you forget how he was acting up earlier? Today, I want to see exactly what he's made of. Zhu Jianshen also cupped his hands, saying, father-in-law, without comparison, how will anyone know the importance my Zhu family places on Ruxu? We can't let outsiders think my Zhu family is bullying others with our power. Right? Since Fang Chen is competing with me for the woman, then we must determine who is superior. Determine it clearly. Just as Liu Zhengyan was about to speak, Fang Chen started clapping, took up his brush and wrote young Master Zhu's words. I strongly agree. Without comparison, how can the difference be seen? As he wrote, he pulled out stack after stack of banknotes from his robes. Without exception, all were 10,000 tael denominations. Unlike the previous 510,000 taels, the banknotes this time were overwhelmingly numerous, almost suffocating, gleaming white bills, like mere paper, casually stacked together. Count them. Fang Chen's note broke the dead silence in the hall. Liu Zhengyan was the first to react, hastily gathering the uncountable banknotes in his arms. Although he hadn't counted yet, the amount was definitely far more than 2 million taels. With trembling hands, he began counting them one by one. Later, realizing there were simply too many, too much for one person to count. Ryan, what are you standing there dazed for? Quickly help count. Liu Ryan walked over numbly, helping with the count, her mind completely blank. Soon after, she finished counting, and in a tone laced with disbelief, announced total 2,700,000 taels. What did this mean? More than the Zhu family's gifts, which had emptied their coffers by a full 700,000 taels. The entire venue fell deathly silent again. Pair after pair of eyes stared in horror at the 2,700,000 silver taels. Liu Ruxu looked at the calm-faced Fang Chen, then at the overjoyed Liu Ruxu beside him. Complex emotions churning within her, Liu Zheng was dumbstruck, stammering, wanting to say something nasty. But the sky-high betrothal gifts choked him, leaving him unable to utter a single word. Zhu Jianshen also stood rooted to the spot, unable to comprehend, where did Fang Chen get so much silver? Just 2 days ago, he only had 510,000 taels. How could they know that Fang Chen already had 1,300,000 taels before? Yesterday sold a youth retaining pill and obtained another 1,400,000 taels from the Zhu family. Added together, wasn't that exactly 2,700,000 silver taels? Fang Chen looked at Zhu Jianshen with a ghost of a smile. Young Master Zhu, your Zhu family can still continue to add more. I'll wait. How could the Zhu family possibly have the wealth to add more? Yesterday, buying that youth retaining pill cost a full 1,400,000 taels, forcing them to sell many properties. These 2 million taels in gifts were scraped together from various sources. At another 700,000 taels. The Zhu family truly couldn't produce it. Zhu Jianshen gritted his teeth until they ground, his fists clenched tightly, glaring hatefully at Fang Chen. But Fang Chen wrote coolly, is glaring useful? If you can still add more gifts, then hurry up and add them. If you're out of money, then take your betrothal gifts and get lost as far as you can. Humiliation, utter humiliation. In his entire life, Zhu Jianshen had never suffered such an insult. Fang Chen was going too far. Zhu Jianshen roared. Fang Chen slowly stood up and coldly wrote several lines. Failed to steal another man's wife, and now you falsely accuse others of bullying you. Has your Zhu family carved the word shameless onto your faces? Zhu Jianshen was furious, wishing he could beat Fang Chen half to death. But alas, this was a public gathering, and Liu Zhengyan was protecting Fang Chen. He could do absolutely nothing. Wang Yingfeng was also thoroughly angered. She thought the Zhu family had victory secured. Who knew they would be so easily trampled by a body dependent on others and slapped in the face publicly? She had nothing to say, her face cold. She snorted, Shenner, let's go. However, just as everyone thought the dust had settled, Wang Yingfeng, her face full of resentment, stared at Fang Chen and shouted, saying, you, surnamed Fang, what are you so smug about? Who told you that you won? The Liu family members looked over in surprise. Was there even a need to compare 2,700,000 taels in cash versus gifts valued at 2 million taels? Even a fool knew whose gifts were worth more. Liu Zhengyan was stunned, tugging at Wang Yingfeng. Don't be unreasonable, since Little Chen's betrothal gifts are greater. Little Chen wins, but Wang Yingfeng shoved him away, roaring, get lost. This marriage, I am the one who decides. Liu Zhengyan's face instantly alternated between green and white, the authority of the family head, utterly destroyed by her roar. Wang Yingfeng glared hatefully at Fang Chen, saying, I'm making trouble. My original words, you remember them, right? Fang Chen, as if anticipating this, took out a pre-written note. Betrothal gifts that will satisfy you. Wang Yingfeng paused, slightly stunned. Fang Chen knew all along she would make an issue of this. But never mind. Even if the sky falls today, don't think I will agree to this marriage code that you remember. Wang Yingfeng snorted, although your betrothal gifts are greater, I prefer young Master Zhu's gifts. This doesn't count as violating my original promise, does it? Everyone's expression changed drastically. Several clansmen immediately advised, Madam, don't be foolish. Fang Chen's gifts are worth 2,700,000 taels. It's more than that. Fang Chen is one of our own Liu family. His betrothal gifts, we don't need to return. Given to us, they belong to our Liu family, but the Zhu family's gifts, we have to return them along with the dowry. No family would keep the betrothal gifts. On the contrary, they send back both the gifts and the dowry. But Fang Chen's 2,700,000 taels can allow the Liu family to develop greatly. enhancing the strength of the entire family. All of you, shut up, Wang Yingfeng roared loudly. I don't care about any Liu family right now. I just want to break up Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu. I want them to never be together for all eternity. Then, she pointed at Fang Chen's nose and yelled, I am not satisfied with your betrothal gifts, so, get out of the Liu family, now immediately, right away. Fang Chen smiled without speaking, pushed aside all the banknotes before him, and took out another pre-written note. My betrothal gifts have one more item, you will be satisfied. Ha ha ha. Wang Yingfeng threw her head back and laughed. Fang Chen, oh Fang Chen, what kind of person do you take me for? We've already reached this point. Would I still slap my own face? Even if you brought out an immortal pill, today you must still get lost. Fang Chen smiled, holding a note in his left hand. Immortal pills. I don't have, however, I do have this pill. His right hand slowly pulled out a jade bottle from his robes. Contained within was none other than the youth-retaining pill. The moment this pill appeared, the entire Liu family erupted as if a pot had exploded. Youth-retaining pill. It's the youth-retaining pill. Heavens, it's actually a second youth-retaining pill. Fang Chen's real betrothal gift is actually a genuine youth-retaining pill. What? Zhu Jianshen sucked in a cold breath. The smile that hadn't yet formed on his face immediately collapsed, replaced by deep shock. He had personally witnessed one youth-retaining pill. How incredibly attractive it was, last time. Many noble women weren't fully prepared, and afterward deeply regretted not bidding. If there were another one, its value would far exceed 1 million for 100,000 taels. Liu Ruxu covered her red lips in disbelief. She had fantasized that, only by marrying a powerful, destined man in the future, might she possibly receive such a gift. Yet Fang Chen had produced it so easily. Liu Zhengyan, after a moment's pause, was utterly shocked. This pill. Fang Chen actually had another one, at this very moment. No one questioned where the youth-retaining pill came from. All attention was focused on the pill, and on Wang Yingfeng. Yesterday, because Wang Yingfeng failed to bid for the youth-retaining pill, she had turned the entire Liu family upside down. Now, a real youth-retaining pill was placed before her. No one knew what she would do. Would she continue to be unreasonable, insisting on breaking up Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu? Or would she treat her own words like breaking wind? Wang Yingfeng was also stunned, staring at this youth-retaining pill. Her eyes filled with disbelief. This is the youth-retaining pill I've dreamed of. But looking at Fang Chen's faint, mocking smile, she remembered her own absolute declarations, and for a moment, couldn't make up her mind. Fang Chen smiled and wrote, since you don't want it, then I might as well take it to auction. He made a motion to put the youth-retaining pill back into his robes. Wait. Wang Yingfeng became anxious, especially seeing Zhang Yuxiu's youthful appearance. She found the temptation even harder to resist. Losing face is losing face. She could always turn hostile again later. Fine. Consider yourself ruthless. Your betrothal gifts. I am satisfied. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone felt like they were dreaming. Fang Chen had humiliated Wang Yingfeng so much. Yet she, known for holding grudges, ultimately did exactly as Fang Chen predicted, and agreed to the marriage. After Wang Yingfeng finished speaking, she felt her face burning hot, and said fiercely, you can give it to me now, right? Fang Chen took out a contract prepared long ago, placed it before her, and simultaneously produced another note. Your verbal promises are about as reliable as farts. It's better to sign a contract. You humiliated once again. Wang Yingfeng flared up in anger. Her intention to renege later was actually seen through by Fang Chen, and even mocked. But for the sake of the youth-retaining pill, she could only swallow her anger and sign the contract. With the contract signed, Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu's marriage was officially binding. Even if she wanted to obstruct it later, with this contract she personally signed, she no longer had the right to interfere. Can you give it to me now? Wang Yingfeng stared at the youth-retaining pill, her eyes burning intensely. The stone hanging in Liu Zhengyan's chest finally dropped, a relieved smile appearing on his face. Seeing Wang Yingfeng's eagerness, he smiled. Little Chen, give it to her. Your mother-in-law can't wait to become younger. Fang Chen nodded, and wrote, of course. Since it was given to you as a betrothal gift, how you dispose of it is entirely up to you. However, let me state the unpleasantries first. Before this youth-retaining pill is handed over to you, please inspect it thoroughly. Don't wait until you receive it, then claim it's fake. Liu Zhengyun wanted to say, who would be so despicable, but looking at Wang Yingfeng, he felt Fang Chen's worrying was truly not excessive. All right, let me inspect it. He walked forward. Looking intently at Fang Chen opened the bottle cap, and a rich medicinal fragrance wafted out. He wrote father-in-law, look carefully, and aimed the mouth of the bottle towards him. Liu Zhengyun nodded, bending down to examine it carefully. Suddenly a force emanated from Fang Chen's palm, knocking the youth-retaining pill out of the jade bottle, landing precisely into Liu Zhengyun's mouth, and rolling down his throat with a gurgle, cough cough. Liu Zhengyun choked and coughed several times, hastily saying the youth-retaining pill I ate it. This completely unexpected scene sent the entire Liu family into an uproar again. Wang Yingfeng, especially, never dreamed this would happen, and couldn't help but scream, my youth-retaining pill, spit it out, you damn thing, spit it out for me quickly. Liu Zhengyun also panicked, quickly trying to spit it out. But the youth-retaining pill took effect extremely fast, melting into liquid upon reaching his stomach, seeping into his flesh and blood. Immediately following, amidst gasps of amazement, the weather and aged Liu Zhengyun underwent an unbelievable transformation. His graying hair visibly turned jet black. The wrinkles on his face rapidly smoothed out, age spots vanished quickly. Even his hunched back straightened up again. In the blink of an eye, he transformed from a middle-aged man into a young man in his early 30s. If he changed into some younger, more fashionable clothes, he would look like he was only in his 20s. This was the effect of a superior-grade youth-retaining pill, twice as effective as the low-grade one, making him a full 20 years younger. I've become younger. Liu Zhengyun looked at himself in disbelief, as if in a dream, as if seeing himself 30 years ago when he first took charge of the Liu family, full of youthful vigor, but watching his immense change. Wang Yingfeng let out a heart-wrenching scream. That's mine. That's my youth-retaining pill. Only then did Liu Zhengyun snap back to reality, looking utterly lost, saying, wife, I don't know what happened either. I didn't eat it on purpose. Wang Yingfeng understood now. Her eyes filled with boundless hatred, pointing at Fang Chen, she raged. It was you deliberately gave it to Liu Zhengyun. Wasn't it? Fang Chen watched her quietly, and wrote without concealing anything. Correct. Compared to you, who lives in comfort and privilege, Uncle Liu needs this youth-retaining pill more. He never intended to let Wang Yingfeng benefit from this precious youth-retaining pill. The plan was to get the contract signed, then give the youth-retaining pill to Liu Zhengyun to consume. Wang Yingfeng shrieked madly, you tricked me. Fang Chen shook his head, and wrote, this is a betrothal gift, it's for the Liu family. Any member can consume it. Wang Yingfeng went crazy. Mad with anger, she screamed, beat him to death for me. Beat him to death. However, the Liu family members remained unmoved. The clansmen still had a sense of justice in their hearts. They also felt this youth-retaining pill was more suitable for Liu Zhengyun, who had told for decades. Finding she couldn't command the clansmen, Wang Yingfeng grew even angrier, roaring, Liu Ruxue, where did you disappear to? Your mother was tricked, can't you see? Kill Fang Chen immediately. Quickly Liu Ruxue stood rooted to the spot, not moving. She merely glanced reproachfully at Fang Chen, then said, mother, let me help you back to rest. Regardless, Fang Chen had ultimately given this youth-retaining pill to her father. Seeing her father, who had worked hard for many years, become so young, she felt genuinely gratified and excited. Therefore, she didn't think Fang Chen had done wrong. It was just that her mother couldn't accept it right away. Even you betray me, I don't want to live anymore. Wang Yingfeng plopped down on the ground, kicking her legs, incessantly spewing foul language, acting exactly like a shrew cursing in the street. Liu Zhengyun and Liu Ruxue looked embarrassed, helpless against this relative. The clansmen also shook their heads aimlessly. Liu Ruxu, however, took Fang Chen's arm and said, everyone, please disperse, the matter is concluded. But just then, a paper crane miraculously flew over, landing in Zhu Jianshen's hand. Oh, a message from the sect. He quickly unfolded it to read the contents. At first, his expression was grave. Then a sinister smile emerged. Who told you it was over? Liu family, you've brought upon yourselves the disaster of clan extermination. The words disaster of clan extermination stunned the celebrating Liu family members. Liu Zhengyan's face darkened, saying, young Master Zhu, please watch your words. My Liu family has always followed the rules. How could there be a disaster of clan extermination? But Zhu Jianshen laughed heartily, his gaze sweeping across the Liu family members, finally settling on Liu Zhang. Why don't you ask Liu Zhang if he sold the patrol map of Solitary Boat City to the Blood Fiend Palace? What the Liu family members were greatly shocked. Blood Fiend Palace. That evil force hidden within the Azure Cloud Sect's territory. The Azure Cloud Sect had failed multiple attempts to eliminate them, and thus issued strict orders forbidding anyone or any force from associating with the Blood Fiend Palace. Otherwise, they would all be considered collaborators. If violated, the punishment would be clan extermination. Liu Zhengyan's heart pounded with terror. He grabbed Liu Zhang from the crowd, shouting, tell me, did you collaborate with the Blood Fiend Palace? At this moment, Fang Chen and Liu Ruxu exchanged a look, both feeling a jolt in their hearts. That day, Liu Ruxu encountered 3 members of the Blood Fiend Palace on the mountain. When they kidnapped them, they had mentioned Liu Zhang owed them money. It was evident Liu Zhang had connections with the Blood Fiend Palace. Liu Zhang, lying on the ground, had lost all his previous arrogance, his face now covered in cold sweat, shaking his head vehemently. No, it's a rumor. Zhu Jianshen sneered coldly. The Azure Cloud Sect's people raided a branch altar of the Blood Fiend Palace, captured a group of members, and they confessed about you. They even produced the patrol map you gave them. Both witness testimony and material evidence exist. Denying it is utterly useless. Wang Yingfeng scrambled up from the ground. Defending this is impossible. My Zhenger is destined for great things. How could he possibly do something like this? Zhu Jianshen was highly amused. The people of the Azure Cloud Sect, would they actually go out of their way to frame an unknown nobody? Liu Zhang, will you confess yourself, or wait for me to use severe torture? Seeing the matter exposed, Liu Zhang's face turned deathly pale. He quickly knelt before Wang Yingfeng, frantically explaining, Aunt, I was forced to. I accidentally owed them money. They said if I didn't pay, they would kill me. Only then did I follow their orders and stole the patrol map to give them. Save me. Please save me. The Liu family members gasped. It was actually true. Liu Zhengyan's vision went black. He staggered and nearly fell. Luckily, Liu Ruxu stepped forward to support him. Liu Zhang, you beast. How dare you collaborate with the Blood Fiend Palace and betray Solitary Boat City's patrol map? The patrol map, that was the core secret of Solitary Boat City's official troops, patrols and defenses, if obtained by the Blood Fiend Palace. Sneaking into Solitary Boat City to commit evil would be as easy as flipping one's hand. Even Wang Yingfeng was frightened, even as a woman. She knew what the patrol map signified. What Liu Zhang committed was not a small mistake, but a monstrous crime. She tremblingly pushed Liu Zhang away, shrinking back without a word, as if regarding Liu Zhang as a deadly plague. How could she dare say another word to protect him? Zhu Jianshen said with a faint, mocking smile, the Azure Cloud Sect has entrusted me with handling this matter. In my opinion, this matter can be major or minor. If I turn a blind eye, it can be treated as if nothing happened. If I investigate strictly, none of you in the Liu family can escape. He paced forward, extending a finger to lift Liu Ruxu's chin, teasing, what I want. You all understand, right? Tonight, Liu Ruxu must come and serve me well. The more comfortable she makes me, the happier I am, the more likely I am to let your Liu family off. Otherwise, HMPH. Suddenly, a teacup was thrown over, smashing against Zhu Jianshen's arm. Zhu Jianshen retracted his hand in pain, looking angrily at Fang Chen, who threw it, saying viciously, let me tell you, you won't escape either. Fang Chen wrote unhurriedly, who gave you the authority to exterminate the entire Liu clan? Liu Zheng's surname is Liu. What does it have to do with the Liu family? Only then did the Liu family members snap out of their shock. Liu Ruxu also suddenly realized, drawing her sword and shouting, Zhu Jianshen, exterminate my Liu family. Are you planning to include me too? Don't forget, I am a predetermined true disciple of the Azure Cloud Sect. My future status will be much higher than yours. If Zhu Jianshen dares to abuse his power for personal gain and exterminate the Liu family today, Liu Ruxu will raise the Zhu family to the ground in the future. Liu Zhengyan also came to his senses, quickly saying right. The grievance has its source, the debt has its debtor. Liu Zheng collaborated with the Blood Fiend Palace, so go find Liu Zheng. On what grounds do you implicate my Liu family? The successive questions put Zhu Jianshen in an awkward position. He gritted his teeth. Arguing unreasonably, Liu Zheng was raised in your Liu family. He committed a crime. Your Liu family cannot escape responsibility. Fang Chen raised his brush and wrote according to you. Your Zhu family still wanted to form a marriage alliance with the Liu family. Was that also an intention to rebel? Might as well exterminate both families together. Everyone's eyes lit up. They had to admit. Although Fang Chen was mute, he could always hit the vital point with a single statement. Liu Zhengyan even announced on the spot, from now on, Liu Zheng is expelled from the Liu family. He has no connection with the Liu family henceforth. No aunt. Save me. Give me another chance. Liu Zheng was terrified, his face pale, crying and shouting. Once expelled, what awaited him was definitely execution. Wang Yingfeng couldn't bear it. After all, he was her nephew. She said to Liu Zhengyan, husband, why not just marry Ruxu to young Master Zhu? Wouldn't that be the best of both worlds? What responded to her was a solid, resounding slap. Liu Zhengyan was furious, slapping her across the face, saying, what time is it now? Still trying to shield your nephew, still trying to trade my daughter's happiness for his worthless life. For Liu Zheng, you reduced the resources for the Liu family members. Fine. Tolerating his tyranny within the residence. Fine. The debt he owed to Patriarch Qin, having Fang Chen pay it with betrothal gifts. Fine. Now he commits such a heinous crime, bringing disaster upon the Liu family, and you still want to shield him. Do you insist on the extermination of my Liu family before you stop? Get out, you get out too. With you in the Liu family. It will perish sooner or later. Wang Yingfeng shrank back in fear. After decades together, this was the first time Liu Zhengyan had lost his temper at her like this. The Liu family members, however, all showed expressions of satisfaction. She deserved to be taught a harsh lesson like this. This woman, relying on Liu Zhengyan's kindness, had always forcefully and domineeringly interfered in Liu family affairs. Now her nephew brought the disaster of clan extermination, and she still showed no remorse. Liu Zhengyan's anger hadn't subsided. Roaring, break this beast Liu Zheng's legs from me. Throw him out onto the street. Several servants, who had been bullied by Liu Zheng, immediately pinned Liu Zheng down, and brutally broke both his legs, causing Liu Zheng to scream miserably in pain. Then, ignoring his pleas, they threw him out. Only then did Liu Zhengyan look coldly at Zhu Jianshen, the person who collaborated with the Blood Fiend Palace. My Liu family has already punished him for you. Next, if you want to handle him, handle him. If you want to execute him by slow slicing, do it. It has absolutely nothing to do with our Liu family. Zhu Jianshen failed to coerce them, and instead found himself in a difficult position. He felt extremely ashamed and angry. Now it wasn't just about getting Liu Ruxu, it was a matter of pride. Suddenly, he looked back at the contents of the paper crane. After reading, he couldn't help but let out a sinister laugh. You're celebrating too early. The sex message also instructed me on one more thing, Zhu Jianshen sneered. The Azure Cloud sect commands me to conscript experts from the various families in Solitary Boat City to annihilate the nearby remnants of the Blood Fiend Palace. How many Blood Fiend Palace heads each family is assigned is up to me. Liu Zhengyan's brow furrowed. Most members of the Blood Fiend Palace were brutal, and their strength was considerably high, generally at the 7th layer of refining or above. Protector-level members even reached the 9th layer of refining. And the branch altar masters, or foundation establishment realm experts. The government had suffered heavy losses in multiple attempts to encircle and suppress the Blood Fiend Palace. If too many heads were assigned to the Liu family, the consequences. Zhu Jianshen waved the paper crane, saying, according to sect intelligence, near Solitary Boat City, the Blood Fiend Palace branch altar master, to protectors, and 30 members have escaped and are at large. If your Liu family is willing to bow your heads and admit fault and send Liu Ruxu to me for amusement, I'll exempt your Liu family. After all, the Liu family is just a mid-tier family. There are plenty of families stronger than yours. If you refuse, then I'm very sorry. The branch altar master will be assigned to your Liu family. What Liu Zhengyan's face changed drastically. You are abusing public office for private revenge. Zhu Jianshen shrugged shamelessly. Not convinced you can go report me to the Azure Cloud sect. However, if you fail to complete the mission within 10 days, your Liu family can wait for your assets to be confiscated and be thrown into prison.